There, I can hear myself think now. My daughter just doesn't seem to understand that when the music is coming into the same headphones as the talking, I can't hear well enough to have the music turned all the way up. If the music was like a separate source or something, then I could deal with the music, but then you guys wouldn't be able to hear the music. So, but good morning, all. Let's see what we've got going here. Work on the puzzle while we wait for Artemis, who was actually waiting for me because I was the one who was late, not them. It's all my fault. Actually, getting up early is almost worse than waking up like right before. Like if I wake up right at 9:30, then I can get up and get myself here on time. But if I wake up at say 8 a.m. or 7:30 like I did this morning, then I feel like, oh, I've got plenty of time. So I either lay back down for another short little nappy nap, or I'll read a little bit, and then next thing I know, I'm stuck in a book, and then it's time to leave. Next thing I know, I'm late. So, yeah, it's all my fault. She must be walking her dog or something. Oh, I see the note. I'm about to be ready. So let's see what we've got here. Well, while I'm waiting for her, I should probably finish off. I've got a apple fritter from a specialty place that we went to over the weekend, and it's okay, but their donuts are better than their apple fritters. But this thing was huge, so it's taken me a couple days to kind of like nibble a little bit off each day because it's huge, and it's rich, even though it doesn't have enough apple on it for me, but it's rich, so I can't like eat the whole thing at once. Let's see what we got here. Provide assurance for. Don't know that one. 15. Not fooled by. 17 across. Present or present. 20 across. Trattoria offering in a carafe. Trattoria offering in a craft. See, I think that's something about like a cafe or something like that, like a coffee or something. Hmm. I want to to type moussaka, but that doesn't seem right. But it feels like it would fit. I'm gonna type it anyway, and I might be wrong. Yeah, I was wrong. Okay, 21 across. Sports conference that includes Georgia Southern and Louisiana. Do I look like I know sports conferences? Ah, well, somebody does. 23 across. Beauty product that may reduce dark circles. No idea. 28 across. Record label for L King. I don't know what record label she's with. See, I want to say RCA, but I don't think RCA is even a record label anymore. I'll type that just in case. Oh, I was right. Oh my goodness. I think of RCA as being like an old vintage record label. I didn't realize they were still a record label. 30 across, tomato variety with an eggplant shape. A tomato shape with an egg-like shape, I should say. Oh, isn't that Roma? Aren't Roma's tomatoes shaped like eggs? I'll do that. Yep. 33 across, thunder or lightning, but they have thunder or lightning um capitalized. Could they be gods? Could thunder or lightning be gods? It's 4 letters. Let's see. No. Okay. 34. Are we on 34? Oh, I can't see 34 because of the way my screen is. I can't see 34. The clue for 34. 35. NFL rushing units. I don't know what that means. 36. Target of a moisturizer. Target of a moisturizer, would that be that would be your skin? Your dermis, your epidermis? No. 39 across. Haley Bieber, nay Baldwin. Because she used to be a Baldwin before she married the Bieber. So that would be nay. There we go. And 42 across. Sword used in parafencing. I don't know. The only thing I know about fencing is the sword is called an epee. E-P-E-E. Let's see if that is right. Yeah, got it. Okay. 43 across. Itching to get started. Is that eager? Let's see. Yep. 45 across. Yeah, sure. 4 letters. Yeah, sure. I would say okay, but that doesn't fit because there's an E. Hmm. 47 across. Diplomat's skill. But it's only 4 letters, so I'll have to come back to that one. 48 across. Be serious. I would say I mean it, but that's not it. Let's see. Something is in the way of my foot, making where I'm sitting uncomfortable. Let's see. Okay. Where were we? 50 across. Ivory or Coast, but not Ivory Coast. So you're talking about soaps. So, but that's 7 letters. Ivory or Coast are both soaps, but not that wouldn't be seven letters. Do they mean washes? Maybe. No, that doesn't even fit because that's only 6 letters. BRAND and brands wouldn't fit. That one's gonna bug me for a minute. 53 spooky sounding Rolls Royce models. Isn't there a Phantom called? Isn't there? MS. Phantoms. I was right. Okay. 56 place for a body scrub. A spa. Okay. 57 educational standards initiative since 2010. Oh, isn't that like the core skills? CORE. Let me see if that fits in there. No, that's not it. And No Child Left Behind would not fit there. Units at the gym. That would be reps, I think. That's 4 letters. Yep. 62 across. Like a boxer's hands, usually. Taped. They tape a boxer's hands, right? Yep, taped. 64 ray of sunshine. Um, I don't know. And I can't see the last two because of my screen. Let's see. What did I do last time? Because I didn't have this trouble before. Maybe it wasn't a large thing. Maybe that was it. Or maybe I removed one of the bars or something so that I could see. There it is. Ray of Sunshine. Impudent talk. I don't know what that is. 66 Creative Spark. I don't know that one either. Creative Spark. Let me go back to the top. Let's see. I'm going in on your downs because I don't know any more of the acrosses. Let's see. 14 down. String quartet member. Wouldn't a viola be part of the string quartet? No, apparently not. Oh yes. It was just late. Okay.
Hello?
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 Sorry it took me a minute.
That's okay. I was the one who was late. See, 20 across. Trattoria offering a craft. House. It's house something, but it does. House blend won't fit.
What are the words you just said to me? The what? What was the clue?
Trattoria offering in a carafe. So I know it's something like a coffee or something, but it doesn't. House red. Ah,
Oh,
so
no, I don't know.
smart. Not
Y'all talking about
coffee.
wines.
So smart, Ronald.
Let's just get a couple orange letters in there.
Let's see. 8 down. Question from the lost. I do not know. 17 across. Seven. Let's see. Present. In. I don't know what that is.
Fruit whose parts are seen at the end of the answers to the starred clues.
Well, since we
It,
can't seem to get any of the starred clues,
well,
that's
that
going to be
answer
a
is
problem.
apple. So apple,
Bar soap. You got the bar soap.
yeah. Well, the answer to that is apple. So if you go back to the starred clues, knowing that the
Yes, what are you talking about?
okay, 51 down says fruit whose parts are seen at the end of the answers to the starred clues. So if you go to the
Oh,
starred
so
clues,
57 across would be Common Core then. I knew it was
there
Core
you go.
because Core has to do with Apple. So at least we got that. Well, get in there. Well, who figured out it was Apple?
Me. Go look at my orange letters in there.
Bar soap. Ah, I knew it was soap, but I was trying to figure out 7 letters. Soap is more than is only 4 letters. I couldn't figure out how to get it in there. I didn't think about bar. You're so smart. 24 down. Deteriorating.
We might be about to just finish this.
Going. Going to seed. Y'all are so smart. Let's see. Ah, so 17 across would be in the flesh, like the flesh of the apple. Yeah, knowing 51 down definitely helped with those starred clues because we weren't getting the starred clues the other way around. Okay, 41 down. Where are you, 41 down? Okay, 41 down is stepmom. There we go. Okay, 54 down. Final Four organization. That's the NCAA. Even I know that one.
Is that all of them?
No, there's
Oh
one
no, one
more.
left. Research
60.
University in Troy.
Oh, so
RP something?
66, 66 across is idea. There we go.
Now are we done?
No. Oh, 31 down we're missing.
Oh, well, I don't
31
know that
down.
one.
Misanthrope. Oh, a cynic. Let me see if I can get that in there. Cynic. There we go.
Hey.
There we go. Go us.
Completion time 7 days, 22 minutes, and 17 seconds.
Because that's the one we started from last week.
Yeah.
We only got about 5 words in it last week, and then we finished it this week.
I don't know how every time Wayne makes my coffee, it is absolutely perfect. But then when I make my coffee, it's always bad. Something's always wrong.
Do you measure as you make your coffee?
I do not, neither does he. And yet somehow it's always good when he makes it.
Well, maybe he just has figured out the way to eyeball it.
I need to go confiscate his eyeballs so I can make my own coffee.
Because for a while, when I had a certain coffee pot, then yes, Ronald, I do take a nap.
Am I not seeing the comments? Where is it? Oh. A nap first thing in the morning, mother!
To be fair, okay, as we have discussed before, I have trouble sleeping all the way through. So I go to sleep and then I wake up about 3 or 4 hours later. And then I'm awake for about 2 hours. So typically, if I wake up at 8 a.m., I've only gotten about 4 or 5 hours of sleep because I go to sleep late at night on purpose so that I can wake up at a normal time in the morning and not wake up at 3 in the morning. If I went to bed at 10 p.m., like most people do, then I'd be awake at 3 in the morning and just sitting there. And I don't want to go downstairs when everybody else is still asleep, or I don't want to turn TV on when my husband's sleeping and stuff like that. So I listen to podcasts and try to hope I can fall back to sleep. But
You
sometimes
should keep
I'll
the
wake
Switch by
up.
your bed. You can play Switch.
Sometimes I'll wake up at 6 or 7 in the morning, which is like the sun is starting to come up. So, and by then my husband's downstairs, but he's watching the news and stuff. So I don't want to bother him during his morning quiet time. So I stay upstairs, and so I like read a little bit or whatever, but then I get sleepy. So if I wake up at like 6 or 7, then I get sleepy, and at 9 I lay back down for a nap.
You can't lay back down for a nap at 9 when we have to be here at 10.
So anyway, are we ready to get started?
I think so. Let me
Because it's
adjust my
already
camera.
11. What time do you need to be out?
I need to be out of here at 12:30, I think.
Okay.
Let me double check what time. Is one chair size it is? Yes. Yeah, I think 12:30. I need to double check my schedule. Where's my market schedule? I feel like this is going to be a very sidebar kind of day.
Like that's something new.
Right. This is technically the winter season, so I have to be there at 2. So we could end at like 1.
Okay. Although nobody will be here because everybody else has to leave at 12 because they got things to do.
That's true. Everybody usually leaves at 12.
Everybody who watches us will be leaving at 12. So, and I don't know if we can leave at 1 because we're down to our last few hours. So we may get a pop-up saying you need to stop.
But it resets this week. It resets on the 20th?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Tomorrow. So let's use up all them hours. Let's go to the very end. This will be an abrupt end. Let's preemptively. Okay, you start the thing, and then I will maybe say some preemptive things in case we get cut off.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Coffee Klatsch. I am one of your presenters, Danny, the Reading Rita, and this is my partner in crime.
Artemis, the fatigued, for real. I'm tired.
And in case you have never been here, we don't have a niche, we don't have a topic, we are just your audio ambiance. We are your background sound. We are here to keep you company while you are doing the laundry, washing the dishes, running after those little ankle biters, or if you and your partner are examining the old bank that you bought to turn into luxury apartments and you're excited to find a few gold coins on the floor of the old vault, but you shine your light a little further to see if there's more, and then you find a dead body. We're here to keep you calm while you're waiting for the police.
Was
And
that
that
part of
last
your real life?
No, that last was not part of my real life other than I am the reader. And that was the latest book in my one of my favorite series called A Debt Ode to Death by Louise Allen. It's a time slip series, which I was thinking about it as, brief little tangent, but I was thinking about it as I was reading this. This was one of my favorite series because I like the way she writes about time travel. But as we've gotten further, because this is like book 7,
Mm-hmm.
as we've gotten further into it, there's really not any of the fun time travel surprises in the story that I like out of time travel stories about,
Mm.
oh, I'm in this new place and I don't know what to do and blah blah blah, because she's traveled back and forth so many times now.
Yeah, it's old hat.
It's old hat almost. But by this time I know the characters now, so I still read it whenever a new book comes out.
Mm-hmm.
But if this was my first time reading it and it was a time travel thing, I'd go, oh, there's not enough of the time travel goodness that I like in this book, and I would
Mm.
not be happy with it. But since I've read all of the series,
She needs to become
it's
Doctor Who.
still a
Bring a
favorite.
companion.
It's still a favorite. So let's get this show on the road.
Before getting the show on the road, I want to preemptively say if we get cut off today, like, subscribe, follow, hit the notification bell, leave a comment.
Yes, we're on StreamYard and we're at the end of our free StreamYard
Our
minutes.
StreamYard minutes.
So- Well, it's StreamYard hours, but today it's down to StreamYard
Minutes.
minutes. So, and I can't remember exactly how many we have left. So, I think it's 3,
We might get
but
cut off mid sentence.
we might get cut off mid sentence. So if that happens,
We'll be like the Sopranos. That's how we get famous. We'll be like the Sopranos.
yeah, whatever. So if that happens, we're letting you know now. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Okay, so let's start as we always do with talking about the life and
I
what's
can't
going
believe you
on
haven't
in the
said
life.
anything about my special guest.
Oh, standing in the background. Yeah, I noticed her.
I
Where did
just
she
got a
come from?
mannequin. Her name is Colette, and one of our regulars at Partney City was like, "You do crafty things. Could you use a full-size vintage African American mannequin?" And I'm like, "Absolutely."
Where did they get a full size vintage African American mannequin?
He collects like mannequins and skeletons and things as his like hobby. And so he got her, he said like a decade ago in Georgia somewhere.
Uh huh.
So he doesn't really remember exactly where he got her, but he realized that he wasn't really using her. She was staying in the garage. And so now she's here.
Uh huh. I
Yeah, her name is
cannot
Colette.
find our life update ticker.
Banner?
I And I found it. We've
Where
got
where are
so
you
we've got
looking? It's right
we've got
there.
we've got so many tickers that,
But the ones that we regularly use stay at the top.
and I was looking at the top, but my brain was just not seeing it.
But yeah, her name is Colette. She is. I need to like show you. I'll probably go on Discord and post a picture of her face because her face is
Uh
very
huh.
cute. I just put one of my wigs on her, and
Uh
that's
huh.
part of what
I
was
was
taking me
about
so
to say
long.
because I'm looking at that afro thinking, when you're saying vintage, are you saying 80s? Because she doesn't look very vintage.
No, she's got a very short little cut. Let me see if I can. Here, I'm gonna walk away. You don't look at my butt because it doesn't exist. It's not there. Can you embiggen me, and we'll see if maybe you can see her face.
I'm big in you.
But she's got just a short little cut,
Oh, okay.
and her feet. She has
Okay.
heels on. I don't have a stand, which is why she's on the wall.
She still looks kind of 80s. She looks kind of like the mannequins in the stores when I was in high school.
Hmm. But
So
she's very cute.
I hate the thought that 80s is vintage. That is not allowed in my
Yeah, he said
brain.
80s or 70s. I need to look her up.
In my brain, anything past the 70s is not allowed to be vintage.
But
60s,
that's Colette.
50s, 60s, 50s, 40s, that's vintage.
Ronald said, "I love her. She must be protected at all costs." Yeah, she's a little beat up because she was pretty old. She's a little beat up, but she is great. She scared me and Wayne multiple times because she was sitting in the living room. I like propped her up in
Mhm.
the corner in the living room and put my baseball cap with all the pins
Does
on
she
her.
have a stand where she can actually stand up? Because I see you've got her leaning.
She doesn't have a stand. I need to get a stand for her. She's got the spot in the bottom of her left heel where a
Hmm.
stand could go so that she could stand up. But
Hmm.
I do not own a stand because I did not previously have a full size mannequin, and she didn't
Hmm.
come with a stand.
Hmm.
So I need to get one. But I mean, propped up
Did
against the
he
wall, she still does pretty well.
did he just give this to you, or did he just gave it to you?
Just
Well,
gave it to me,
that was nice of him.
and I am
Okay.
so happy with her. The only reason that we know that her name is Colette is because when you pop her arms off on the inside of her arms, it says Colette number 3.
Oh my goodness, Colette number
So
3.
So I'm gonna look her up because I'm wondering if it's like a line of
Uh huh.
mannequins,
Uh
and
huh.
this is the number 3 Colette style.
Uh
But she
huh.
is very pretty. I thought originally when he showed me the picture on his phone, I was like, oh, I think I might paint her, like repaint her face. But then when I saw her in person, I was like, no, I love her. She's so cute. I had to cover her
Everybody is a
modesty.
little beat up this year, Ronald. That's
For
true.
real. For
That's
real.
true.
But I had to cover her. I had to cover her modesty because she was full nakers. And so but I didn't think about the fact that to put a shirt on her, I would have to repop her arms back off. And it wasn't
Hmm.
like the easiest thing to pop them back on. So I just tied one of my headscarves around her midsection as a bandeau. And then I slid my skirt, because she's very thin. She's petite.
Yes,
And so I just slid
he's
my skirt completely over her arms and everything.
petite. Okay, so what's I'm looking at the list. What's you want to go through
Oh
your
yeah,
life
let's
stuff
see.
first? Let's start from the top.
Let me back up.
Breaking
Where's
news. While I finish
breaking
eating
news?
my my apple fritter, my I think I'm about to give up while you're looking that up. I think I'm about to give
Mm,
up on the internet fasting because I'm starting to wake up like at 7 o'clock in the morning and my stomach hurts.
really hungry? Yeah.
And not even
Well,
really because I don't have an appetite, not really hungry, just that my stomach hurts. And I know if I put something in my stomach, it'll stop hurting. So I guess that's
you sh-
hungry.
if you want to continue the intermittent fasting, you should, during your fasting hours, set alarms for you to eat meals. That's what I had to do when I was taking the medicine that took away my appetite. I would forget to eat, and then all of a sudden I would feel like I'm about to pass out. I would have to like ask Wayne, and then also like set alarms of like, you need to have a meal right now. You need to have a meal right now. You need to have a meal right now. And then that would remind me, and then I wouldn't feel like I'm going to pass out.
That's what Terry said. But
She's smart. But breaking news, update for Joann's, which Ronald already knows, and I can't remember if I told you or not already, but now we're telling the people. Joann's is closing 500 of their 800 stores. one of those stores is the one that is next to me that I was gonna go to. So my Joann's is closing. And more breaking news, I went to talk to my friend who works there, who always gives me their 50% discount. Um, and they have 3 months. They're closing in 3 months. So they're going to be doing a lot of closeout sales. They just started their sales the day before yesterday, so it's going to be a while before they get the good sales. But they said that my friend said that like the people are already in their supermarket sweeping, like clearing stuff out. So I need to slide in there if I want to get some bitty stripe and not some Bernat, but maybe some Bernat. And the big I'm upset because if Joann's closes, are we going to? Doesn't Joann's own Big Twist? Isn't Big Twist the
Big
Joann's
Twist.
brand?
Big Twist is their brand, so I'm wondering where the Big Twist will go. I've never tried Big Twist, but so many people um talk about it that I've wanted to try it, but I didn't have a
Big
reason to buy it right now. So
The Big Twist normal, like worsted weight, is cute, fine. It's fine. It's like it's like comparable to Red Heart. It's not anything like super special, just other than like different color varieties or whatever. The thing I'm upset about is I just discovered the Big Twist plush, which is very comparable to Sweet Snuggles Light as an amigurumi yarn. It's very nice, and it comes in lots of bright, vibrant colors. Like, do I have any on me right now? Just bright colors. That's a bright peach that's being blown out by the lights in my room. But I just discovered it, and now they're going to be gone. Because when I talked to my friend, it sounds like we won't be able to order anything from the websites either once it's closed down.
Mhm.
So I'm none too happy about it.
That is a bummer.
But my store is also our store, Party City. My Party City closes its doors at noon on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, I've already applied to a few other jobs, most of which are management jobs because it's the only way you can get $15 an hour, and I don't want to be a manager. But,
mm-hmm. But you're a grown up lady. It's time for you to take a big grown up job. I say as I have never been a manager in my life.
Also, I have a grown up job, i.e., having my own business. I'm already doing grown up things. I don't want to take care of other grown ups. I don't want to take care of other grown ups that should be able to take care of themselves, or teenagers, or anyone really. I don't want to be responsible for anybody other than me and my dogs and my husband, maybe. But I've been applying for several other jobs. But what I think I might do, since our store is closing effective immediately, I might talk to Joann's and see, because what my friend said, they've already had several people quit. And I was like, if they could get me in there, if they could bring me in as the key holder pay, and then have me run in a register, because I can run a register like nobody's business. I will beep 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 $4.99. Like I can run a register like nobody's business. And I know for a fact I can run a register faster than the old ladies that they had running the register whenever I would go in there. So I'm wondering if they can bring me on as the key holder, and I'll just run a register and do that until I find another more stable, permanent, not closing down job. Or maybe I'll be a closing sale business hopper, and I'll just hop from business to business that's closing down, and like, this is what I'm offering. This is what you have to give me. I'll show up and help you close out your store. And don't try to tell me to wear a uniform. You're closing anyway.
That reminds me of a TikTok that I saw the other day where the woman's like, okay, thank you. Your interview went really well. What do you and they started to say something about offering the job, and then the other lady says, okay, here are the packages that I offer. You can get the basic, you can get the bronze, or you can get the gold, or you can get the platinum. If you get the basic, then I'll show up and I'll sit in the chair and I'll look like I'm working. And you can pretty much, or if you get this level, then I'll actually do some work. Maybe I'll show up to the Christmas party and blah 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 blah. And
bro, the way I want to say that when I apply to jobs,
the boss is like, well, what about the gold? The gold, you'd have to pry me out of here with a crowbar. I will do every job, that gets thrown at me, blah blah blah. And
You
the boss
can't
is like,
afford
well,
gold package
the
rates.
boss is like, well, yes, we want the gold. And she said, well, no, here are my prices. And the boss is like, oh, we can only afford the basic.
Exactly. Exactly. And Ronald is saying something before I move on. Dani, I hope I don't have to wait till Friday to talk to you about my new witchy hobby. Witchy! They asked me to bring them paper, and I did, and now they want to fish. WTF? Witchy hobby.
You
And then
know.
do I? Do I?
Hmm.
Oh, oh! I now know. And then the damn mayor tried to get me to say hi to 22 people, and he resembles a certain president. Ew. Ew.
No, he's better looking than that certain president.
Is this Witchy Hobby the new game or the old
No,
game that
the
she could
new
not stop
game
talking
hasn't
about?
come out yet. The new
Oh,
game
okay.
hasn't come out yet. And I have
I should also
already
play that.
mark my words. Remember that I said this because I have already decided when it comes out. I'm praying it's on Apple Arcade, but
Chloe, clip this.
if it's not on Apple Arcade, I'm gonna buy it anyway.
Chloe, clip this. Chloe, clip this for future usage. We're gonna insert this into the video later on.
Yeah, later this year when the game comes out, and I'm like, oh God, the game is $30. I can't.
We're gonna clip it. I'm gonna have it ready. Let's see. The next thing that I have in life updates is I had some job offers.
Yay.
So, yeah, people are coming into the store and saying, hey, maybe you want to work somewhere. So one of them is for, hang on, I got to open my phone case because I put her card in the back of my phone case. Ow. So I wouldn't lose it. It's for, and you will probably be happy about this, the Asheville Conservatory of the Arts, Music, Visual Arts, and Movement Arts.
Oh,
They
yay.
are... Yeah, they're opening a new building, and the lady said that they're looking for potentially some people to run like front desk and stuff. And when I helped her out, she's like, "You're very personable. I like the way that you handled when you checked me out with my stuff and all that, blah blah blah." And apparently people have been telling me all the time that I am very like the customers, and then also my coworkers have been telling me, you are so patient and so like kind to people and so nice. And I'm like, I feel like I'm cutting an attitude with every person that walks through the door. What do you mean? But I think it's probably because when I say stuff, and in my head it sounds very passive aggressive and like you're being silly. But when I say it out loud, I do say it in the most polite way, so you can't actually call me out for saying anything. Like, there was a lady who was like, is the whole store 80% off? And I'm like, yeah, the whole store is 80% off. And she's like, so does that mean this candy is 80% off? And I'm like, yes, the whole store is 80% off. Like, is candy not included in everything? You found the candy in our store, so it's 80% off. Like, what do you mean?
But, well, to be fair, in her instance, there are places that will tell you we're having the 50% off sale, and then you get in there, it's like, oh, you can't have 50% off of that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They'll have like the big signs of 50% off of Karen yarn, and then you get there to get the big Karen anniversary cake that's $100, and say, oh, you can't have 50% off of that.
Because you need to read the signs. Because I do that every time I go into Joann's. When Joann's is having a sale, they're like all Bernat blanket yarn $7, but then right under it in little print, it'll say except for XYZ. And I make sure that I look at it every time, but no one else looks at the fine print. Like, because they will fine print everywhere. Like, there are other words on this thing. Why did you not read any of the other words? So, because when we first started our sale, our thing said that too, where it was like, there were the sign walkers outside with their big signs, and the big sign said whole store up to, in very tiny words, 70% off. So it's whole store up to 75% off. So that means that
Mhm.
it could have been up to 75% off, but no one was reading the up to. They only read the
Uh-huh.
75% off. But now there is no fine print now. It is whole store 80% off. Actually, as of today, whole store 90% off because they just changed it
90%
today.
off.
Yeah, the whole store. There's like almost nothing left. People are like, there were literally people in there yesterday ripping the shelves off the walls because they're taking the fixtures and everything. Like,
Oh my goodness.
yes, I bought my fixtures too. I have a bunch of shelves downstairs, and I need to get my racks. I'm use them at the market, but also 80% off. What's wrong with it? When I worked at Dollar Tree, how much is this? $1. Well, how about this? Also $1. Like, I don't know what what don't you understand? It's all $1. Dollar Tree's not like that anymore. It's like
Mm-mm.
$1.50 tree.
Yep. $1.25 tree.
Okay, what? But I did get some job offers, so I got the job offer at the conservatory. I still need to call her. The only thing that's
Mhm.
making me hesitate from calling her is because I would have to actually call them, and they don't have like a. She didn't like give me a link to a proper application, and so I need to
Mhm.
prepare myself to have multiple conversations with multiple people. But
Mhm.
there's that, and then also the manager from Men's Warehouse, which is right up the road from us, he came in and he's like, he came in the evening when I was the night manager, and he's like, would it be okay if I come in tomorrow and bring in a QR code for people to scan to apply to work at Men's Warehouse? And so I like, as the manager sitting on the counter, not moving from my spot, was like grilling him. And I was like, how long is the position for? He's like, well, it's seasonal for the prom season, but
Mhm.
you'll like there's a potential for moving forward to be part-time and then also moving forward from that to be full-time. I'm like, well, how much is the pay? It's $15 an hour. What would the job entail? What would you be doing? And he's like, you would, for the prom season, you would just be, oh, you want to get a suit? Beep, checked out a suit. Oh, you're returning a suit? Beep, checked in a suit. So just checking in and out
Also,
suits for,
also they like rent
yeah,
suits for prom. Oh, okay. I didn't know
yes.
they did that.
And I'm like, renting suits for $15 an hour. That doesn't sound bad. Also, he is so funny. He came in a full mint suit, mint blazer, mint pants, mint vest, mint
Oh
tie.
my goodness.
He came in, and then they told me the next day, because I wasn't there when he showed up the next day. The next day, he came in an all pink suit.
Oh
He
my
is so
goodness.
funny
Is
because
he
he
is he
originally,
like the advertising for the store?
I guess, I mean, he's the manager. But he came in, but before he asked if he could bring that in, he came in. He was always dressed very nicely. But he came in and was buying supplies for like a party, but he was buying like clown supplies to dress up like a clown. I'm like, that's wild. He was so nice and funny though.
Well,
I
that's
need to
cool.
I need to call them though, because he knows me as Artemis at Party City. But when I fill out the application, a lot of applications will have a space. It's like, what's your name? And then what's your preferred name? But the Men's Warehouse did not have a preferred name section. So I need to call them
Mhm.
and say, hey, this is my actual first name.
Mhm.
So that he knows that that's me that applied, that he was speaking to.
Mhm.
But
So,
yeah, there's that. And I also applied to be a manager at Hot Topic and to be a manager at Spencer's.
well, Hot Topic sounds like well, let me rephrase that because I've heard people say that Hot Topic has changed. I'm remembering what Hot Topic was like when I was in high school. I've heard that Hot Topic has changed, so maybe it's not your vibe anymore, but
It's okay. It's very like Hot Topic has become very like Disney adult for some reason, which is
yeah, that's
odd.
what I've heard.
Yeah, because it used to be very edgy and now it's very Disney. But I think Hot Topic is overall now more just like a pop culture store. And so like pop culture, like millennial pop culture store
Mhm.
essentially. And so I mean I'm okay with working there. I like they every time I've gone in there, one, they don't seem to have any like specific uniforms, which is fine. I don't think they'd have any issues with my makeup, which is fine. I would know about a lot of the stuff that they're selling. Like know about the genres and all the different things that they're selling for most of it, not all of it, but for a lot of it. So, and Spencer's I think would be the same vibe except edgier, and they also sell dildos in the back, I guess.
Yeah,
Spencer's
which
is wrong.
I haven't been in a Spencer's in
Wait.
Yeah,
I have a tag for this. You haven't been in the Spencers in hang on. You haven't been in the
don't
Spencers in
start. Don't start. Shut up. Don't start. I was about to say it's because I was trying to think. I don't think I've been in Spencer's since before you were born.
I didn't realize the Spencers existed before I was born.
Spencer's has been. I know Spencer's was there when I was in high school in the '80s. I don't know
Wild.
how long Spencer's has been around, but I know it was there when I was in high school and I
The
graduated in
18?
'84.
You mean
Yeah,
Colette could have been at Spencer's?
could have. Yeah,
Colette could have
and,
been at
and
Spencer's?
and Spencer's was still selling all the cheesy gag gifts
Mm-hmm.
type things. I don't know what they sell now, but that's what they were selling
Same.
then.
Honestly, same. It's pretty much the same. Wild. Also, did you know did you know that Spencer's and Spirit Halloween are like the same company?
I can see that. Even though I've never
I
been
did not
in
realize
Spirit
that.
Halloween, I could see them being the same company because it's
Because
all
when I
cheap tatty stuff.
Yeah, well, when I went to apply to Spencer's, it was like, thank you for applying to Spencer's dash Spirit Halloween. And I'm like Spencer's Gifts dash Spirit Halloween. I'm like, what? When? When did this marriage happen?
Yeah, and it's funny to me that they're called Spencer's Gifts because gift is
They need to put the word gag in the middle of there.
seriously because nobody would consider anything there a gift.
Not a legitimate one. Okay, so that's
Seriously.
the job offers. I went to my friend's house for my birthday.
Yay!
It was fun. We played D&D for several hours. We had pizza and also pizza rolls. And my friend made me lemon cookies for my birthday, and they were so delicious. And I need to remember to get the recipe from her. They were so good. And we also, after we finished playing D&D, we played a round of Hues and Cues. You know this game?
Yes, I've played Hughes and Q's.
Well, we played a round of
Not
Hues
my
and Cues.
favorite game, but I've played it.
It was very fun. It was harder than I thought it was going to be. Like
Mm-hmm.
being the color guesser, where you're like putting your little thing down to guess what color they're
Uh-huh.
trying to tell you,
Uh-huh.
wasn't that bad. I think I came in like second or third out of 6 people. So
Mm-hmm.
wasn't that part wasn't that bad. But and Wayne won wildly. Um but being the namer, the color namer was
Uh-huh.
so hard.
Uh-huh.
Was so hard because I was like, oh. There was one point where I had a color that was like it was like a pretty bright green color, and so I was like, uh, Xbox, because I was thinking like the Xbox ring, but everybody went too bright, and so I was like, dying Xbox, like so that they would like do a darker color, but they shifted in completely the wrong direction. I'm like, no, what do I do?
Yeah,
But
you know me,
anyway.
I'm not good with the games that require creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Let me mute you for a second.
Mute me. Mute you. She's talking to my brother, perhaps? My sister? My father? She's talking to a ghost? Is she talking to Colette?
I thought I heard Chloe, but I think I missed her. She was on her way back in her room. And Isaac
Mm.
is already gone. I turned the thermostat up to 70 last night and then I forgot to turn it back
Ooh,
down this
toasty.
morning. Forgot to turn it back down this morning and now I'm sitting in here having hot flashes.
Speaking of the thermostat, have you guys been getting any snow yet? Has it been
No,
snowing a bit?
but I've gotten the severe weather alerts that the severe weather is starting from today at 6 a.m. till tomorrow at 6 a.m.
It is currently still snowing, nothing is sticking. When I woke up this morning, it was snowing and it had stuck. This is a just for you, Ronald. I guess she's talking to somebody. When I woke up this morning, it was snowing and it had stuck, and there were like huge snowflakes falling, like enormous. And then I like sat in bed and scrolled through YouTube for a little while because I didn't feel like getting up. I was exhausted. I did not sleep very well last night. I got tangled up in the blankets. It was a nightmare. But then I went to like properly get up and it had stopped snowing and the snow had all melted off the grass. So like the grass was like covered and Wayne was like, "Are you sure we're all going to work today?" And blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Well, I mean, I'm just going to market today. I think I'll be able to make it." And then I got up later and the snow was gone and then it started snowing again and started sticking and now it's like still snowing but it has like slowed down again. But checking the weather, it's supposed to snow on and off literally all day. Like I scrolled through and it's supposed to continue snowing on and off through tomorrow. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
The first
Ronald,
time
are
I
you
heard
okay?
that there was any snow was
Mm-hmm.
Domino's
Ooh,
sent
it's
me
gonna
an
be
e
snowy. Why don't you get yourself a pizza?
exactly. They sent me an email on Sunday saying we stay open when it's not Sunday but Monday. They said we stay open when it snows, but we usually stay open only for pickup. We'd rather not make our drivers drive. And they had pictures of the drivers in the snow and stuff. And they
Stuck
said,
in the snow.
"How about you order some pizza, a couple pizzas today, and then you can have some leftover pizza to eat when it snows on Wednesday."
Not Domino's saying pizza is good hot or cold. Our pizza is good now or tomorrow. Our leftovers are better than Papa John's hot. What?
Yeah.
That is wild.
That's the first time I realized that they were expecting snow.
That is wild. Ronald, are you also getting snow up in Wisconsin, Minnesota,
Minnesota,
Maine, Michigan,
Minnesota,
North Dakota? Minnesota? Are you getting snow up in Minnesota?
Minnesota.
Okay, but birthday party was great. We played games. We had cheeky beverages. I had some Mike's Hard and also Wayne made some mixed drinks that were actually pretty good. Our friends happened to have some frozen fruit in the freezer, and so he like blended it all together. It was very yummy, but then a little chunky at the bottom because some of the fruit was still at the bottom. So that was a thing. Um next up, how was your gals weekend?
Yeah, we had a Galentine's weekend because Friday was Valentine's Day, and
Yes.
so Saskatchewan, Ronald, you're so funny. So we made a roast,
Ooh.
which because usually she cooks, and it's like ah. Ronald says it's not currently snowing, but there's plenty of snow on the ground. It has been highs in the minus single digits all week.
Ew.
The high was -2 yesterday. Oh
Ew.
no. Oh
Ew.
no. Oh no, we could not live there.
Also, I
But
meant to ask Ronald, are you having pancakes again or are you having your peanut butter and jelly gruel?
don't make fun of his breakfast. But she usually cooks, and I thought I had a pang of conscience and thought, well, you know what, I should do something this time instead of making her provide food and whatever. So I had a grocery order sent to her house, and we
Nice.
made a
Roast
Georgia
beef?
roast and a Georgia roast. Yes, roast beef. Had a Georgia roast and got some of the Bob Evans mashed potatoes, which I like. And
You say that as
she
if she
made,
did not like them.
oh no, everybody liked them. I was just saying for anybody who may be watching, it's like, oh, that's not homemade mashed potatoes. I'm like, it might as well be. It's not mashed potatoes out of a packet, let me tell you. And so the Bob Evans mashed potatoes and the she made some corn, some white corn, and we had canned Grand's canned biscuits, which I like.
White
And
corn in Black History Month.
shut up. And but the roast, because have you had Mississippi roast?
I don't think that I have. I don't think
Yeah,
I've.
it's one of
When was the last
Mississippi
time I had a
roast.
roast of any kind?
Mississippi roast is one of those recipes that has been making the rounds. It's not like a TikTok, viral thing, but it's been making the rounds online. And it's basically you get a chuck roast, put it in the crock pot, and sprinkle it with a packet of au jus gravy mix and a packet of ranch dressing, and
Mm-hmm.
then you put a whole stick of butter in there and pour a whole 16-ounce jar of pepperoncinis on it, and then you cook it for like 4 to 6 hours. It tastes good, but with the pepperoncinis, it's too hot for me.
Too spicy. We
So,
got baby mouth.
so exactly. So I've made it with banana peppers instead, and that's still good. But then I saw a recipe on that on all recipes that said if you like Mississippi roast, you'll like Georgia roast. And they say it's the same, but it's not really the same. You start with the chuck roast and the two different packets of seasoning, but instead
Mm-hmm.
of a stick of butter, you put beef broth in, and you put a jar of pickled onions, and then toward the end, you right when it's done after 4 to 6 minutes, and you shred all the meat. So it's shredded. It's not like a sliced roast. It's like a shredded roast, so that you could
Mm-hmm.
put it on a sandwich or whatever. Which I ate my leftovers on a sandwich. Um, you you get some butter and flour and put it in the crock pot and let it sit without the top for 30 minutes so that it'll thicken up into a gravy. And it was, I know you're not a gravy person. And it's very good. You'd probably prefer the Mississippi roast then without the gravy, because Mississippi roast isn't gravy. You don't put extra broth and stuff in there.
Yeah, but I don't want
So
any
it's,
of them
it's just
pepperoncinis either.
well, I mean, you make it with the banana peppers and it's not hot.
Banana peppers are
So
also gross. I would just make it pepperless.
you're weird. But then you need to at least pour some pickle juice in there, because really what it is that
Oh, the vinegar.
the vinegar in the pickled juice is what softens
Mmm.
the meat and makes it tender. So you need to pour some pickle juice or something in there if you don't want peppers. But yeah, your Uncle Barry, who does not like
Mm-hmm.
onions, or who professes not to like onions, he did not see me cook it, so he didn't know there was onions in there. Because the onions, it's not, you know how like when you make things and you can see the onions, but if you really
Mm-hmm.
cook stuff down, you don't really see the onions.
Yeah.
So he didn't see the onions. He piled that meat on top of his potatoes. And the way it was, we were making fun of him when he was eating at the table, because he was sitting. I have to raise my arm so you can see. He was sitting, his plate was on the table, and he had his arm around his plate like this, and he was like somebody was gonna steal his plate.
Oh,
But he
that's hilarious.
he he scarfed that stuff down, and Terry,
Oh,
yeah, you heard that.
yes.
And Terry was complimenting me the whole time of, oh, this is good. What's the recipe? I need to make this again. Blah 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 blah. Because she has trouble finding things that her family will eat, because you know how I told her the joke that goes around online about how white people season their food with thoughts and prayers, and she
Mm-hmm.
said, "Yeah, well, that's my family." She wasn't even offended, because her that Barry eats his food with thought and prayers.
Dang, it's funny because it's true.
Exactly. But she wants to try stuff with more flavor in it.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want anything crazy in his food. But all he could see was meat and gravy. So all he thought it was meat and gravy. So we're
Mm-hmm.
not going to tell him any different.
No,
So,
no one revealed. You didn't know my godmother was what? All
yes,
these years.
all these years. Yes,
You've
Terry
been
is
lying to Ronald for years.
yes, Terry is a white girl.
What?
But yeah, so we made the roast, so that worked out well, and we played games. We played Song Fest, which I didn't think was going to go over well, because she always talks about how she's not good at trivia because she doesn't remember anything, and she's not really up on pop culture, like
Mm-hmm.
me, who's chronically online. And even before there was such a thing as chronically online, I just kept my nose in pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just one of those kind of people who feels like even if I don't participate, I need to be aware. Like if you say Lannisters to me, I know you're talking about Game of Thrones, even though I have never
Mm-hmm.
watched a minute of Game of Thrones. But she would be lost. but we played Songfest, that game I got for Christmas, and
Yeah.
it turned out pretty well. She got some questions right. Barry got some questions right. We did.
Nice.
It was fun. It was fun. So I'm gonna get that other song game, the Hit Parade, where you put the game. No, Hitster is what it's called, where you put the songs in order on a timeline, kind of like when we play that game on
Oh,
Little
Timeline Twist.
Snacks.
Oh
Well,
no,
no, it's
yeah, the Little Snacks one.
where they have you put things in order
Mm-hmm.
from earliest to latest, except with this one, it's all songs, and you play like the music clips, and the songs go
Ooh.
from like the 1920s to current music. So I thought that would be fun because then you don't have to like, because we were struggling on some of the like finish the lyric and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I knew about music, and then I was sorely mistaken
You know who would be
when I
super
got to that
aggressively
game.
competitive at that game?
Who?
Me and Isaac. Me and Isaac would.
Uh-huh.
Whoa.
Oh yes.
We were
Oh,
going to town
Isaac
on that
likes that
game.
game. Isaac likes that
I
game.
want.
But even he will admit, because that game goes from the 70s to the 2010s, and he's pretty much 70s, 80s, 90s, I do not know you. So he there's enough for everybody, because if you play it, because you kind of roll the dice as to what era you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
So, everybody gets a chance to be a little good at something, because Terry did pretty good on all the 80s ones.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody gets a chance to be good at something. So we played that several rounds. I still can't get them. I have Marvel, because last time I was there, last month, I bought Marvel Splendor. Still can't get them to play it. Still haven't even taken the wrapping off of my twin palms yet.
Twin Palms is
Still
a
can't
fairly
get.
easy one though.
That's what I think, but I mean, unless the game is super, super almost party game easy, it's hard to get them to play.
I was gonna say we should invite them to a family game night one Sunday, but she doesn't use computers.
Yeah, she won't play online. I've been trying for ages to get her to play online. She won't play online. Um, but we played that. We played. We introduced Barry to Llama and Llama Dice, and like your father,
Llama.
he's decided he prefers Llama over Llama Dice.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Llama Dice probably won't come out too many more times. I mean, I'm glad that I got them both, but Llama Dice probably won't come out too many more times, because everybody complains about how small the cards are. Because you didn't play Llama Dice with us, did you?
I didn't.
No, the cards are like the cards are smaller than this. This is not even the
Ooh.
standard size of a regular card. The cards are like this.
Ooh. Also, what
Yeah,
information are you showing us right now? What's on that
yeah.
card?
Oh, this is just a receipt for a return.
Uh,
Just holding on to it because they picked up our thing, and so we're holding on to it. I think that's actually, I can probably throw that away at this point. But yeah, Llama Dice cards are really small, so they're hard to shuffle.
mm-hmm.
And I think there's just a little bit more to playing regular llama, so I think people prefer regular llama. So llama dice
Mm-hmm.
probably won't come out. But you've played llama. That's about the level
Yeah.
of thinking they want to do. So trying to get Splendor out on the table.
I
We
mean, you know what they might play?
last
Super Mega
time.
Lucky Box.
Oh, we played Super Mega Lucky Box. I just don't own it. I gave that copy back to V when she
Oh
came down,
yeah.
when they came through. But they enjoyed Super Mega Lucky Box. I just don't own it. But Splendor, we got as far as laying Splendor all the way out on the table. And they saw that whole layout, and I explained it to them, and they went, "Nope," and started putting it back in the box.
Honestly, that is what my brain does sometimes when you're like, "Ooh, let's try this new game on Game Arena," and I'm like, "Okay," and the screen comes up, and I have to scroll to see the whole screen. My brain is already like, "Oh my goodness, too much information. I'm shutting down. I'm shutting down." Like the first time that we played, what's the music one where you're doing a record label and you're traveling from the different
Oh,
venues?
draft and write records.
Yes, Draft and Write Records.
Yeah, I don't
The
think I'll
first
be able
time
to
we
get
looked
you
at
to play
that,
that one either.
the first time I like it now that I understand it, but the first time I looked at that, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. What in the welcome to the government is this?
Yup. Yup.
It is just so many panels of things.
Yup.
Also, what is this Friday? I definitely like we've been talking about games for so long that I looked at the clock and was like, "Oh, I need to be getting the Xbox turned on." I was I was like, "I'm running out of time."
But
Did you
then
do anything else?
on Saturday we played several rounds of Q Birds,
Ooh, I like yours.
which Q Birds is a very simple game, but I have the hardest time explaining it to people.
Mm-hmm.
And Barry had the hardest time. Barry and Kim, the other person who was playing with us, had the hardest time understanding it. But we played several rounds, and once we played it, I think they finally got it
Yeah.
and enjoyed it. But I had the hardest time explaining that to them. And that's why I was telling Terry, I said, if you would play a couple of these games online with me, you would understand. And then because my explanation is just stumbling. I feel like I'm letting the side down, trying to get them to play these games when I am the one who has to explain them because I am not good at explaining the games.
Whenever we're like together on Board Game Arena, and
Hmm.
Ronald, pause for just a minute. Sidebar: the sentence I just learned on Duolingo: "My rats are computer experts." They are learned. Rats in STEM.
See, I hear about all these crazy sentences that people get on Duolingo. I don't ever get that.
What language are
I
you
don't
doing,
ever
Ronald? Is this for Spanish?
I don't ever get the crazy sentences on Duolingo.
Also, is
I get
Duo
the
still
things.
dead?
Yes. Yes.
Are we prepared for the funeral service? Have we put his name on? Have we put his picture on the program yet?
Yeah, I'm not real happy with the yeah, we still got the X's on his eyes. You see that? So technically he's still dead. I don't know. Maybe because of things that have gone on in my life not too recently, but I just find that whole
Not really a funny bit.
it's not funny. It's tasteless to me. Here he is today waiting.
That face is amazing. Ah! I love it. I think my duo is still like perished. I don't know. It's been years. Oh, focus, focus, focus. Come on, just a little. Focus, focus. Focus, it's right there. It's right there, it's right there.
It's been years. Look at
It's
you.
the fat angry duo. It won't focus properly.
But yeah, so we had fun. It was nice. I
Oh,
don't
what I was
like I was saying, my stomach doesn't hurt when I'm over there, and I think it's like we were talking earlier about how I'm having the stomach pain. My stomach doesn't hurt when I'm over there, and
mhm.
I think it may be because um your
Wild,
streak
Ronald.
is 891. Is that what he's saying?
I will pull it up big so the people can see. Everybody's gonna see this in the playback. Even that's how important this is.
Oh, good lord!
91.
But the
I'm gonna
what
start
was
a
I trying to
Duolingo
say?
channel in the Discord so that everybody can like do their duo things and like post a screenshot of them having done their duo thing.
You're
Maybe we could
ridiculous.
start it. We could get a streak going.
But I don't
Your stomach hurts here, but not over at her house, and you think it's because
oh, I think it's partly because she has a
dehumidifier.
it's no, it's a single story house. And we sit
Mm.
in her dining room most of the time that we're over there because we're usually playing games or we're at the table
Oh, so you're not having to climb up and down the
painting.
stairs.
We're at the table painting or other, because that's the other thing we did this weekend. It was supposed to be a project weekend, so we were working on. She has that painting that she still hasn't finished, so she
Mm-hmm.
was working on that, and I was coloring, and so the kitchen is like right there. Plus, and we don't eat a lot over there, so it's not like I'm eating a lot over there. But like, Lord have mercy, every other minute somebody is saying, at least once an hour, somebody says, "You want a cup of tea? You want a cup of tea?"
You
Because
want a
you
cup of
know
tea?
it's a British household. So you want a cup of tea? You want a cup
You
of
want a
tea?
cuppa?
You want a cup of tea? You want a cup of tea? So there's always somebody making a round of tea. So I don't even have to get up to get the tea because somebody will make me a cup of tea. So there's a lot of cups of tea. So I think that may be why, because it's
You're
just
always
so
having something on your stomach.
yeah, I'm always having a cup of tea or a cup of water or something like that. And because it's not a lot of snacks, because Terry says that she snacks a lot, but she really doesn't. So there's not a lot of snacks, but we are drinking a
Mm-hmm.
lot of tea over there. So that's probably it.
You
Okay,
just set a
anything else
tea
in life
reminder.
updates?
Um. Oh, I got my first hater comment on YouTube.
I noticed that you've been putting up some shorts.
Yeah, I'm just reposting my TikTok videos. So,
Uh-huh.
and I've got them. I put like 30 of them up there, and then I scheduled them to post every day. That way, they can like kind of peter out. Because I noticed that if
Uh-huh.
I post them all at once in one big batch thing, then people don't really see them.
Uh-huh.
So I had scheduled them so they post once a day at 10 a.m. So
Mhm.
check whenever you come into the coffee clutch. But where's my YouTube? Let me go see it because I want to read this out verbatim. I'm not going to call out the person's name. If you need to, you can go hunt them down, but don't be weird. Um, Let me go find it. But it's the video where Mother, I know that you've seen this one because you were following me on TikTok, but it's the video that I posted who knows how long ago, where I was like, I essentially said, I ran into someone that I knew before and they acted like they didn't know me. And I know that I look a little different. And I posted pictures of me from like early college, like younger pictures,
Mhm.
and then pictures of me now. And I'm like, I know I do makeup and stuff now. I know I had like a little baby glow up, but I look fundamentally the same. Why are you acting like you don't know me? And
Mhm.
let me pause it so it's not loud. But the literally the only comment that I have on that video is because I did not have piercings in any of the old pictures. And so the comment says, poor girl fell into an inkwell full of staples and thought it was an improvement. And I'm like, one, hilarious. You don't like piercings. Okay, whatever, go off. But two, an inkwell of staples. An inkwell notorious for holding only ink full of staples.
An
Like
inkwell.
what? And you could have said anything. You could have said just a jar, a barrel, a bucket, a cup. But an inkwell full of staples is hilarious.
That's crazy.
It's so funny.
That's crazy.
So I got my first hater comment on YouTube, and it's that.
Well, I'm glad at least you're taking it well.
Because it wasn't even anything like real bad. They really were just like, your piercings are ugly. And I'm like, okay, go off. They're not yours. Go off. Whatever. It's my face. I do what I want. They're gonna be real upset because all in that video I didn't have the shaved head or anything, and the first thing I thought I passed the inkwell of staples thing was, dang, they're gonna be real upset when they see that I have shaved my head and dyed my hair.
Yeah, she posts her shorts not on this channel that this video is going to be on. She has her own channel. So
Yes, I need
her
to.
shorts are on her channel.
We'll see if we can try to link that to this video whenever we post the official video. We'll try to make sure that it's in the comments. One of us will go back and do it. And then also
You say that, but I haven't put up any edited videos since I did those first two. So I guess I need to start back when we
on it. So okay, on episode 100, are we going to round out Coffee Klatsch with Coffee Klatsch episode 100 and then stop there and do Conversation Chair episode 1, or is
Yes.
episode 100 going to be Conversation Chair?
No.
Other way around.
100 is going to be the last coffee Klatsch, which is next Wednesday.
Okay. So
And
make sure everybody's
then
there. Make sure you have your coffee. Get a little piece of cake.
next Wednesday. And that rounds out well because next Wednesday will be the last Wednesday in February.
Yes.
And then
So
we'll
we'll start
start
it.
the first Wednesday in March with Conversation Chair. And then I guess with Conversation Chair, I need to get better at editing videos, or maybe we won't edit videos. Maybe we'll just put up some recorded videos of other stuff and just leave these live streams to be what they are. Who
Maybe.
knows? We'll talk about that later.
Maybe we can harass Chloe again and she can just put up the edit. Because literally all that you basically, did you ever watch the video that I edited and posted up?
I did, and I noticed the little. I didn't watch it all the way through. I watched about like 3/4 of it, and I saw that you put like, you know, you put little things on the screen sometimes, and things like
Little
that.
comments.
So yeah, I saw what you did. You did more work than I did because really, literally, all I did was cut off the beginning before my 3, 2, 1, and that's all I did when I edited. So,
But also that work took me hours. It took me like 2 hours
yeah,
for that one video. So I probably
yeah.
won't be doing very much of that anymore. But if we can harass Chloe enough to be able to do what you were doing, which is cut off the beginning, cut out any pauses,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe just put up a little cover screen or something. We need a picture. I will work on a picture. Ronald says, yeah, our comments are back to the comment stuff. Ronald says, yeah, our comment section is like, Ronald is a bitch and Melissa is annoying and I can't even listen to her. Oh my gosh. So aggressive. So aggressive. Ronald, you need to go into the comments and say, that bitch. I'm that bitch. Okay. What else do we have? First hater comment on YouTube. Done with that. Oh my goodness. Are we too crafty thoughts already? It's only been an hour and a half.
Because you're so silly. Hey, Ari.
Ari saying, I'm that bitch.
So
there
yeah,
can be only one. You must battle to the death.
that's all the life updates I've got. So I'm sure if anything life related comes up, I'm sure I'll throw it in there because we are nothing if not a sidebar
I'm
show.
saying. I feel like there was something else I was going to say in life updates, but I just can't. Oh, my birthday presents. I got the rest of my presents. So this is gonna be super, super quick. So Isaac is the one that got me the VR headset battery pack. So now I can play Beat Saber for hours on end without having to leave Ronald and Ari because my headset's dead. So I'm super excited about that. It's charging and I'm gonna make sure that it's charged for this evening. And then my mother got me a popcorn maker. I've had that popcorn maker. Yes, I've had that popcorn maker on my list literally for years because I remember we were originally talking about it when I was watching like Criminal Minds or something, and somebody had a popcorn maker on the table, and I was like, I want a popcorn maker. And then, funnily enough, when I went to my friend's house for my birthday, they had a little microwave popcorn thing. Mine is an electric, like it just makes the popcorn. Theirs is a little like bowl that you specifically put in the microwave, but I'm super excited to make some popcorn.
Yeah, I was trying to surprise you, and then I sent you the thing saying it was going to be delayed. And then when I went to send you,
it was delayed and delayed.
When I went to send you the second thing showing it's been delayed again, that's when it hit me. Oh, the picture of the present is on the thing that says delayed. So now she's going to know what she got for her birthday.
I fully didn't even look. I fully didn't even look at the pictures until you said, "Do you still want this?" Because I was just looking at the time and date stuff. I was like zoned in, like time and date. When is it going to be here? So I fully didn't look past it. But you're good. I'm super excited. I was excited. Wayne has that same thing of like he wants to order me stuff, but he doesn't ever want to order anything off of the Amazon because we share Amazon Prime, and so he very much wants it to be a surprise, and so he will not order me anything off of the Amazon Prime. Okay. What are we reading?
Wait a minute. I'm trying. I have a guy on Tandem, which is his application for learning Spanish.
Okay.
This guy. I don't know what Mando is, A message.
So probably sent.
Uh, oh, I know what that last one is. Faux outrage.
Ooh!
Faux outrage. Faux
Ah!
outrage. Faux outrage. Faux outrage. Faux outrage. I am too young for that kind of stuff, Ronald.
Oh
I
my
am
gosh.
I am too young.
Shame, shame. Shame, shame. But so my mother got me a popcorn maker. I'm gonna make popcorn. I'm super excited. And then Wayne got me multiple things, but the thing that I have been using the most, he got me multiple things, and I can show this later. But the thing I have been using the most, look at this bag.
Oh, that's a nice bag, and it says Farmers Market on
It
it.
does. And look,
Cool.
I've replaced both of my crochet bags. Look at this. Look at how big this bag is.
Oh, cool.
There's literally so much. I have like 6 skeins of yarn in here right now. I have 6 skeins of yarn, plus my makeup bag, plus my makeup wipes, plus my wallet, and my keys, and my crochet hook holder, and my scissors. I have so much in this bag. It is plus my contact lens like case thing for if I want to wear my fancy contacts. And my
Cool.
battery pack. I have so much in here.
Cool. Cool.
Because I was carrying around my crochet bag that my friend got me 3 years ago at this point, 2 years ago at this point. Do you remember when I got the crochet? You know the one I'm talking about, right? The gray crochet bag.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that was 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's like it's starting to get a little beat up. Like the vinyl is starting to come off of it, and it's starting to look a little beat up because I carry it literally everywhere. It became my purse essentially. And then I was working because market season's coming up. I was working on bigger projects, so I was carrying around the crochet bag and then an Aldi's bag full of yarn as well. And so Wayne was like, I felt bad watching you carry around the beat up crochet bag and the Aldi's bag. So he got me this very nice bag from TJ Maxx. It is like canvas and it's got like a solid base and it's got like ribs in the corner so it'll stand up on its own. And it's
Uh-huh.
like the like middle is a big space, but then it's got pockets on literally every side. So like if I hold it up, this side is one big pocket. This side is one big
Uh-huh.
pocket. This side is split into two big pockets, and then there's a pocket on this side, and then a pocket opposite this on the other side.
I do love a bag that has like divisions inside so that I can at least kind of keep my stuff divided.
It's such
I still haven't tried bitty stripes yet. I
yeah.
really want to try bitty stripes.
I need to go to Joann's and get some more bitty stripe because you know it's gonna be gone soon. But yeah, that's my bitty stripe that I've been using.
So speaking of bitty stripes, perfect time to
Transition.
transition into our yarny crafty thoughts. What yarny crafty stuff you got going on, ma'am?
I am trying to work on stuff for market. I cannot get myself into amigurumi brain. I keep trying to work on amigurumi stuff and then I look at the patterns and I'm like, no, I remember why I stopped doing this pattern. I don't. And also most of the time when I'm working on stuff is either I am at work, so I have to pick up and put down the
Mhm,
project 100 times because I'm at work,
mhm.
or I'm at home and just got off work and don't feel like putting a bunch of brain energy towards stuff. Hold on just a moment. I have
Room service? I think Ronald got room service last night while we were on the iHeart Board Games live stream. I heard him saying something about ice cream. Oh no, can't do that.
no room service. His ride is here. So he is piecing out to go to work. He said he booked it and it got booked like immediately. It's not snowing outside anymore though, so maybe it'll be nice on my
Okay.
drive to market today. But so I cannot get myself into amigurumi brain because of the aforementioned things of I'm either working at work and have to put it down 100 times, or I come home from work and I don't want to put all of my brain energy towards anything because I've been using all of my brain energy
Mhm.
to not cuss out these people that are being stupid. Most
I
people are
feel
nice,
you.
but there are some people that are just like, and we're getting, because the store's closing, we keep getting a bunch of kids in here that are like like when I say kids, I mean teenagers that are coming
Uh-huh.
in and just like doing a bunch of stuff, throwing stuff all over the place. Like, it's annoying.
Like, oh, it's
So
closing. We can come in here and act the fool.
exactly. Like we had a guest manager come in the other day, and she literally had to scream at kids to get out. Like I was checking someone out, all of a sudden I hear her, no, walk out the door right now and do not come back. Keep walking, get out of this store. And I'm like, oh, what just happened? And I looked at, I asked them after the fact, but they were like going around the store making a lot of noise, but like to the point, when someone is like being annoying and obnoxious, but they haven't actually done anything that you can say anything about yet.
Uh-huh.
Like they were just being loud and obnoxious, but they haven't like destroyed any property yet. They haven't done anything like that. But then as they were like hanging around the front, we've got these signs hanging from the ceiling that say like closing store sale, 80% off, yada yada. And one of the kids ran, and you know how high school teenage boys will do that thing where they'll run and jump and
Run
like hit the
and
top of the
jump
door
like
frame.
that.
Yes. One of them ran and hit the
As
sign,
soon
and
as you,
she's like,
soon as you said
absolutely no.
sign, as soon as you said sign, I pictured the running and jump
Yep.
thing.
Yep. And as soon as they did it, she was like, absolutely not. Get out. Walk out of here and do not turn back around. And I was like, oh.
She must be somebody's mother, because that sounds like mama voice
She's
right
not.
there.
She's not. She's like a 30-something-year-old lesbian who is like single lesbian who is just hopping from party city to party city. After the store closes, she's going
Yeah,
to go back to Tennessee, which
when
is
you
her
say
mom.
guest manager, I'm like, what is this? SNL? You gotta
Guest manager. I mean, essentially, because she was the manager of our store when I first started working here. And then she got pulled to another store that was having trouble in Georgia. So she moved from here to Georgia to go manage that store, which is when our store manager that I currently have moved up. And so, but everybody like knows her. Like she's still in our group chat. Like she's stayed in our group chat the whole time. So she was coming through here because she, I think, was moving stuff, because when her store closes down, she's going to go back to her mom's house in Tennessee, in Bristol, Tennessee. So she, I think, was coming through like moving some stuff. And when she came through, she stopped by our store and like helped us like clean up some stuff and move some stuff around and blah, blah, blah. We had a little reunion. Like there was another coworker that used to work here that came in and visited as well. So she was like essentially a guest manager.
Tangent, is your guest chat, I wonder, I mean, not guest
Group
chat,
chat.
your group chat, I wonder if it's going to start getting filled with people looking for jobs. Oh, I found out such and such is hiring. You might want to come over here, such and such is hiring.
I wonder as well, but the only people that are left in the group chat now, because we like every time someone leaves the store, we make a new group chat. And so, but
Okay.
the group chat we have right now is like kind of the final group chat since the store is closing. So right now we have the guest manager who no longer works here, the other manager who no longer works here who went to Build the Bear, the only other man that worked here for the last like 6 months other than Wayne. But Wayne worked here for a half of a blank. Like he like, moved some boxes and then was gone. And then me, the store manager, the other girl who started working at the same time as me, who's not a high schooler, and then the 2 high schoolers. Like that's all that's left in our group chat. So, and one of the high schoolers has a job already. Me and the other girl, we can talk. Me and the other girl and the other manager like can talk in our own little thing. So I don't know. I feel like it's probably gonna be filled with memes. Like we have scheduled once the store closes, sometime around March. Our store's closing on Monday, but we have scheduled that sometime around March. We're going to all go get our nails done together because our store manager, her nail lady went back to Thailand to visit her family, but she's going to be coming back in March. So we're all going to go and get our nails done in March when her nail girl is back.
Well, that's interesting.
But
so you can't seem to get into your amigurumi brain. So have you been working on anything else?
I have actually. I just need to figure out where I put them in my bag.
Because you don't really need to have your amigurumi till what? When will you start back doing markets? It's going to be
April.
That's right, because you do summer. So
yes, April is when like First Fridays are going to start back. I am currently applying to one of the regular weekly markets, which will be on Friday. But they don't start until 3, and it's like right up the road for me, so it's not going to interfere with any of the stream stuff. And then I just have to figure out what I'm going to do with my Saturday market. But I did, like literally yesterday, talk to also everybody's giving me stuff right now, and I appreciate it, but I'm just like, ah, out of nowhere. Because I got the mannequin, and then out of the blue, one of my friends texted me and is like, one of my friends from Bay Nectar texted me and was like, hey, my mother is clearing out, is decluttering her craft room, and she's got a bunch of yarn, and you're the first person that I thought of to give it to. Would you like it? And I was like, I will take any, if not all of it. And she's like, okay, well, I'll like schedule it. She's like, she's got blanket yarn and regular, like all kinds of varieties. I'm like, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna schedule a time to meet up for her to be able to give me that yarn. But I'm like, getting yarn out of nowhere. But I was saying like, oh man, I hope they start the fairy market up at Fay Nectar again soon. I miss doing it. And they're like, yeah. So Fay Nectar just like properly reopened, I believe, this past weekend for like regular.
It's the hurricane stuff. Yeah.
Yes. So I believe that they are having their regular like weekly stuff like they were doing before, but no markets because their backyard was like completely flooded. But based on what she said, it sounds like they will be trying to do markets again starting in May.
Okay.
So hopefully I will be able to start doing markets there again in May. And I'm just looking around to see what other markets that I can do like weekly, because there's the Weaverville market, which I'm working at the Weaverville market, and they've said before that I could set up a table there as well and like just have my table beside me as I'm working. But my stuff just does not really sell at the Weaverville market. Like during the summer, my primary sales come from face paint and henna. No one is getting that at that market. That market is all old people or people with children who are just trying to get food. Like,
yeah.
It is not. I might be able to sell a couple Amis, and I've got a couple things that I think might sell okay at that market. I'll show you in a minute. But first things first, hopefully we don't get demonetized. We wouldn't get demonetized for this, right? Look at it.
Girl.
Isn't it so cute? It's a cat toy. It's got catnip in it.
Cute.
It's so cute. It's so chunky. It feels like a cigar. Like it's so cute. Large. But I made the little catnip toy. I bought a box from Party City, like a little tub to put them in that I can put a name on. And it's I'm gonna call them the little kitty pre-rolls. It's so
Those are cute.
So cute. And they're pretty easy to make. So I am probably gonna try to whip up several more of those.
And since we are not monetized to begin with, Ronald, there really is nothing to demonetize. When I first started this channel, I had just gotten to the point under the old rules that I could be monetized, and then I stopped making videos.
Oh no!
And now
one day we'll be monetized.
Under the new rules, I will never get monetized because you need thousands of viewers and thousands of viewing hours to be monetized.
We'll figure it out. Next week, I will have no job, and we can spend all of that time making pre-recorded videos. But I made that, and then I have memorized and knocked out the pattern for the little leaf, like the one that's on my headphones.
Yep.
I have that pattern memorized now, so I was just knocking them out 30 minutes tops. Absolutely 30 minutes tops to make one of these. Cool. Probably a lot less than that. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them that I made sitting at work. Mm-hmm. Just one shift at work, knocked out 5 of them. So I think those might do fairly well at the market because they everybody's talking like plants and stuff. So,
and especially if you are, I just saw my light go down on my, laptop, which means I need to plug it in.
Plug it in. Not sponsored.
Yep. But keep talking.
But yes, I think those will do well at the market. And then I made a bag because Ronald has been making all these bags. I'm like, I should make a bag.
I think the kitty pre-rolls are cute.
Yeah, I think those might sell okay.
The name is very creative as well.
Mm-hmm. While I was trying to find, because I knew that I had the pattern for that somewhere in Ravelry, but while I was trying to find the pattern for it, I also found the pattern for a little bong, like keychain. And so I'm wondering if I can make that as well with the catnip in it and call it the Bitty Kitty Bong. Wouldn't that be also adorable? These cats out here getting high. These cats out here smoking. But I also made
Okay.
a bag.
Cute, cute, cute. Is that Bitty Stripe?
Yeah, that's bitty stripe with
Because when
black.
I saw it, I thought it was Bitty Stripe mixed with black.
Yeah, this is bitty stripe with black. So I did hold two strands together, which we already know that we don't do in this house. But it
Hmm.
turned out I'm very happy with it. Like I'm very
Yeah.
happy with how it turned out. And the pattern is another Instagram pattern. It was super, super easy. Literally, you chain a loop that's as wide as you want the bottom of the bag to be. So you chain like a chain folded over, and the chain folded over is this length. You connect it, and then one of my dogs is barking like crazy.
Uh-huh.
But you connect it, and then you just half double crochet for as tall as you want the bag to be, and then you starting on one end will go back and forth and decrease until you get to the width of the strap. You keep going to the strap and then you increase again and then just sew the strap down. I dropped the rainbow for the strap because I hate when I make like a bag that has color changes and then the color change does not match up on the other end, because you start the thing here and you go up and around and then
Yeah.
it'll be an abrupt color change, and I hate it. So I just dropped the
Yeah.
bitty stripe and just did black, which I think looks cute.
I think the black, having the handle be black, looks sophisticated.
Yeah, I like it.
Having just the
And
color on the bag part, I think that looks sophisticated.
when I was making it, I was like, who carries bags this size? No one carries bags this size. This is a bag for a child. And then I remembered, no, I just carry too many things in my daily life. People do carry small bags.
People do. People
People, because
do.
literally, I was
Because
just thinking that yesterday,
Your
and
aunt
then
Terry goes to the grocery store. Your aunt Terry goes into the grocery store with nothing, with just something big enough to hold her little bit of money, and that's it.
could not be me. Could not be me. So this is for all the small bag girlies out here. And it's also because I held two strands together. It's very sturdy. Like it's very like
Yeah,
it's thick. There's some heft
it
in there.
doesn't feel like it needs a lining.
Yeah, I might line it anyway though, because I have some zippers, and my original plan was to ooh, my zipper lines up perfectly. It's almost the exact right size. Look at that. Look at
Oh,
God.
perfect.
Because I was guessing. I was fully guessing. I did not have my zippers on me when I was making it. Look at that.
Perfect.
So I think I am gonna line it and put a zipper because I like my big bag, but if I have a small bag, I feel the need to close it. My big bag is just gonna sit empty, and the
Uh-huh.
only things that are in there are like you'll see yarn. Like I don't know. Having a small bag, I feel like I need a zipper. So I will be making a zipper for that. But I think that is all that I worked on. Was yeah. I want to get some and I'm starting another bag. I just haven't finished it yet. Um I've been working on it while we were talking. But I love so much how this bitty stripe works up with the black. I might try to do another one with white
Yeah. Yeah.
to see how it looks, but I love so much how much it works up with the black.
That's one of my favorite things. I have Mexicana, which doesn't the color changes aren't quite the same as Bitty Stripe, but
Mm-hmm.
I like it's a rainbow kind of yarn, and I
Mm-hmm.
like the way the rainbow yarns look with black. I keep trying to make a blanket or do something with that Mexicana because I've got like 3 or 4 skeins of it from
Mm-hmm.
when your father briefly decided to make stuff, and he bought 3 or 4 skeins of it because he was attracted to that yarn, but then
Mm-hmm.
never ended up using it up. So I keep trying to find something to do with it because I like rainbows with black. I like when
Yes.
you do granny squares. I like having, like, if you have to have a connector color in between, I like
Doing
black or
black.
gray as the connector color if you're doing multicolor squares for a thing. That's why on like the granny square all in one, I prefer the
The ones that connect
colorways
black.
where the border is black, because I just like black. Okay, I told her to turn that heat down and she did, and now I'm cold. There's no winning
Still not
with
smelling.
me.
No
So is that
winning.
all you got to show?
That is basically all I've got to show. I feel like I did something else, but I can't. I've got nothing else. I did make another one of the bitty kitty pre rolls, but I gave it to the one of the coworkers that was visiting because he has a cat. So, and he was like, "I
Uh-huh.
don't know how I'm going to explain this to my parents, but thank you. It's hilarious.
It's a cigarette for the cat. What's to explain?
It's it's a cigarette.
Okay. So I don't have a lot to show because again, I was away for the weekend, so I didn't really do a lot. And
Mm.
I was not feeling well last week. I was really not feeling well on the weekend because I was having dizziness starting from like
Oh yeah.
Wednesday. I kept having dizziness and lightheadedness, and it persisted all the way through the weekend. But I just, as long as I could like sit still, like
Hmm.
today, well, really yesterday was like the first day that I finally the dizziness has kind of left.
Hmm.
But for several days in a row, I had to kind of sit still, and it was like trying to focus my eyes to look at a book or look at my crochet. It just felt like no, that's not something I
Yeah.
want to do. So I ended up just watching TV a lot.
Hmm.
Um, but I did finish adding the colors on this,
Oh
which
yeah, the
you
coffee
may have
shop. Hey,
seen this
I'm bigging
before.
you.
I finished
Let me.
adding the colors on this, so it's finally finished.
It looks so
And
good.
again, I don't like I mean, I like the colors that I chose. I'm really happy with the tree in particular.
Yes, she's
I like
very
the
nice.
colors on that, but when you get in close, you can see, especially on the window, it's very
The
wobbly.
markers are bleeding. Yeah.
Yeah, you can just see how the markers bleed, and I'm just not real happy with that. So I don't
The
think
little
I will
bistro sign looks a
use
lot better now that you
the
added the black though.
yeah, I just don't think I will use the alcohol markers on this artist in particular. I will
Hmm.
um
Color
probably
pencils.
use the watercolor markers or colored pencils if I get another set of colored pencils because my Crayolas are not I don't have enough colors in my Crayolas because
Oh,
the Crayolas were the first thing that I bought when I first decided to get into the coloring hobby because I
oh, so
thought
straight
that's
up.
what adult thank you, Ronald. That's what I thought adults did.
Hmm.
So, you know, adult coloring, you're not going to use crayons, you're going to use colored pencils. It never occurred to me to do markers. Now I know better. But I colored and sharpened some of those down to a nub. So there are some colors missing from my Crayolas because I colored them down to a nub and threw them out. So I want to get another set, but I feel guilty because I already have a set of 60 watercolor markers, a set of 60 alcohol markers. I've got 35 just skin color, and then I have another 25 or 30 of some other alcohol markers that are kind of skin color but kind of something else.
But they're all used
I
for
got a
different
lot of
purposes.
markers.
But
I feel like I should not buy any more markers, but I really want colored pencils for this book. This book I want colored pencils for.
but they're all
But
for different
I'm going to
purposes.
try the
Just get the colored
watercolor. I'm going
pencils.
to try the water-based markers.
Hmm.
I'm going to try the water-based markers cuz I might like the water-based markers on this because again, I did use Sharpies on part of that picture and I was much happier using Sharpies. So I might
Hmm.
try I'm going to do another picture. But then I did a thing.
What did you
I
do?
opened this book. I opened this book, which, as we
Oh
know,
yeah.
is not color by number.
It's not.
I have
But
to
did you
pick the
color
colors
one?
all by my lonesome.
I'm so excited. I'm
Which
gonna begging you. I'm
I'm not.
so excited.
Don't be excited because it's not good. Okay, don't be excited because it's not good. I ruined the skin color on it. I was happy till I did
Or
the skin color, but
still excited. No, I like it. It's so
no. But
cute.
if you close in, look at her neck. You can see where I started and stopped on the neck. See, down below
It
the
looks
necklace, I was
cute.
able to get that. I was able to get this part fairly smooth, but then here you can see the rows where I had to start and stop, and then on the face, it is just all streaks.
But it
It
looks
is so bad,
good. It looks good. Were
but
you using the watercolor we're using the water based markers or the alcohol markers?
no, this is alcohol markers.
I think if
This
you
is
just like
alcohol markers. Well, no. Wait a minute, wait a minute. No, take that back. I take that back. This is water-based markers for the entire thing, except the skin color is the alcohol markers. And that people talk about watercolor markers, the water-based markers being streaky, but the alcohol markers are very streaky for me.
it's the alcohol
And I
markers.
normally don't care about it being streaky.
Ronald,
I've said in the past
you
I don't
got
care
man
about it being streaky.
ask for her number.
Oh, hush.
Yeah, Ronald says we're gonna go back and
But
read
I don't
Ronald's
know if
comments.
you can see it.
Ronald says, Danny, upon showing
Yeah,
every single thing, it's not good. It looks good
it's
though.
not. It does look
You
like
should
she has a skin condition. Because the stripe, this it looks like I put a scar right across her face right there, and you
it
can't
does
see it
not.
can't show up on camera, but the necklace and the earring I did glitter marker, but you can't really
Ooh, I can
see.
see. No, I can see the flash when you turn it towards the light. On the earring, at least, I can see the flash when you turn it towards the light. Oh, I can see the necklace now too. Yeah, it just has to be
Yeah.
turned towards the light.
So I'm happy with the glitter. Those are like the paint markers where you have to shake them and press them down
Hmm.
on the paper. I'd never used those before. But
You should put her up on the wall right next to Amy Winehouse, looking like Lady Gaga.
she does not get to go up on the wall because
Put
she
her on the
is
wall. On
but
Black
I don't
History Month, you're
mind
not going to put her in the wall?
I'm uh, no, I can't
Yes, Ronald.
because her
She's
face is
been
too
through a lot, just
streaky.
like Colette. Ronald says she's been through a lot, like Colette. Her and Colette been through a lot.
But this is the first one that I felt comfortable to color because there wasn't really a bunch of stuff in the
Like a ton of details. Yeah,
background, like a ton of details to
it
do.
looks literally so
And
good.
I can tell that this book it feels like it's um like she used AI to make these pictures, but
Oh yeah. Ronald says I agree that she
no, the
shouldn't go on the
wall is
wall. The
not
wall is for quote, celebrities.
celebrities. Well, the wall isn't just for celebrities, but 'cause I don't have many more celebrity pictures to put up there. But yeah, most of the pictures in here are they're just too much
Too much detail.
like this. I don't know what I would do with all of the background and everything on this,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I've told myself that what I'll probably do with most of these pictures is just color the lady and leave the background
Oh, Ronald, were you not here when she did that one?
just yeah, Ronald, you remember me putting Liz Taylor up because you were the one who knew who she was and Maya didn't know.
Yeah, I could have sworn
Yeah,
you were
that's
here.
Liz Taylor right there. That's Liz Taylor right there. That's the last one I did.
Looking all
And I'm
pastel.
thinking it's just about time to
To
do
do another one?
another one out of this book. I have I still have several to do in this
But
book.
who's worth putting on the
Because I've got
wall?
one, two,
Ronald
three,
saying I'm elderly and have a bad memory.
four, five, six, seven, eight. No, I've got like nine more pictures in here.
Ooh, plenty to cover up the
I
wall.
got nine more pictures, including one of my favorites, which is not up on the wall yet. So I definitely have to do her. So yeah, it's probably about time to do another one of those. But yeah, so I got that, and then the only other thing I worked on this week while I was, let me put my thing in here, is I worked on my 6 day star blanket. I did work
Yes.
on my on my avatar blanket, but I mean I barely got half a row done, so that wasn't worth dragging in here. But this one I finished. I'm trying to get to where my marker is so we can see my progress. I finished my
You finished the skein,
I
the cake?
finished I finished the cake that I was working on. So as you can see, I've got several rows done from
Mm-hmm.
here up to here. So I've
That's a
got
good chunk.
like three, but that doesn't count. I want to come over here so you can see where I've, because I added over here. You can see better what I've added. Cause see, I added a variegated yarn that I had right in
Ooh, I see it
there,
now. Yeah.
and then I added some of this green
Mm-hmm.
here, and I just ran out of the first little ball of that green. So I had a small ball of this like beigey yellow. So I've added this on right here,
Are
as you
you
can see.
are
So
you going to leave the ends so that you can weave in the ends, or are you knotting them together and continuing?
no, I'm gonna weave in the ends. I'm not knotting. I'm gonna weave in the ends. But
Ew.
I have another ball of this that I'm gonna add later,
Cute.
of the green. This is the same yarn but in a pinkish color.
Does it have speckles?
So I have one ball of this. I have, yeah, yeah. It has little slubs of like satin
Oh,
fabric
I
in
love
the yarn.
it.
So
What is that
that gives it kind of
yarn?
a shiny bit. I don't know the name of it because I got like 4 or 5 balls. No, I think I had 6 balls of it. And one I had 2 balls of black that matched. So I used it to make a pair of slippers for your Aunt Terry, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
strong enough for slippers because her slippers have already developed a hole because she wears the slippers every day. So,
Speaking of which, I bought.
and this one
I
has
can't. Yeah, you saw my slippies.
nice red and orange slubs in it.
I love
Nice red
it.
and
I need to
orange
figure out what that
slubs
yarn
in it.
is. But do you remember the slippies that I was
I'm
wearing when I
pretty
went
sure it's a
to visit
discontinued
you?
yarn.
We are having a delay. There's so much delay.
Yeah, we
What is
are.
going on? Do I
Yeah.
have stuff open? Let me make sure everything's closed. Do you have stuff running in the background? Turn the
Nope.
crossword off. Close that. It's using up your power.
Okay.
But do you remember the slippies that I was wearing when I went to your house that are the black slippies with they had the little skull heart hands on them that I got from Five Below?
Yeah.
I got those last Halloween and have been wearing them literally every day. The right slipper now has a full hole in the front of my shoe. I'm like,
Oh
no, my
no.
most comfortable slippies. So I got another set of shoes. They're like, they're they're like sort of like flats, but they've got like a chunk on them. They're like wedges, but they don't
Uh-huh.
fit quite as comfortably because the back is like there's like half an inch off the back of my ankle. So when I take a step, it like slides off the back of my foot, like off the back. So it's not like as comfortable.
Oh
So I keep
no.
putting on my slippies, but I can't wear my slippies if it's raining outside because then my socks get wet. I can't wear my slippies if it's snowing outside because then my socks get wet. I need to throw them away, but they are my most comfortable shoe right now.
Well, that's a
I
bummer.
need to throw them. Also, Ronald says, I love your star blanket. I have so many projects I want to do, and that includes a star blanket. What if we all
Yeah,
do?
I had to just make myself jump in and do it because I saw so many people talking about it and I saw so many
Mhm.
different TikToks. That's like I said before, commercials don't influence me, but if I see 15 people doing the same project on
Mhm.
TikTok or YouTube or something, that'll get me.
And
Or
that's why they're
15
called
different people.
influencers.
Exactly. 15 people trying the, all in one granny square yarn or whatever. That'll make
Mhm.
me go buy the yarn, at least one skein just to try it.
But
Cause I
full sidebar, the the what am I trying to say? The like commercial merchandising industry is sticking their hands too deep into this influencer pot because I'm so tired of seeing commercials that are just normal ass influencers recording commercials for people and they use them as their commercials on YouTube and all of these and
uh-huh.
like all these other places and I'm like, "No. If you're going to put a commercial there,
Uh-huh.
put your commercial money on it. Put your actual commercial money on it
Exactly.
because how much are you paying this person to
Exactly.
sit in their bedroom and you're going to plaster their face every 2 seconds on every single video that I watch on YouTube for the next week and a half? No, absolutely not. And if I see you as a commercial on YouTube, I'm not going to trust you. You are now untrustworthy to me because you are working, you are in the pocket of this company. I am not going to trust you. And then also, I think some of these companies are saying, hey, I need you to, like, hey, do an ad for, because I swear I saw a one of my YouTubers as a commercial for some product or something, but it looks like it was ripped directly from his video because when he does his videos, he does like a cute little sketch, hilarious, haha, and then he does what he calls the sketch after the sketch. It's Daniel Thrasher. He does what he calls the sketch after the sketch that's paid for, which is his like ad for the company that's sponsoring him. But it looks like they fully just
Uh-huh.
ripped his ad out of his video and put it up as the YouTube commercial, and I'm like, does he know that you're doing that? Did you pay him to be able to put his face everywhere instead of just in his video?
Yeah. That's rude.
I think things are getting shady in the commercial making industry, and I'm here to say stop it right now. Stop
Yeah,
it
I
right
want to
now.
know that a commercial is a commercial instead of
Exactly. And I just like
whatever.
I can't help the underlying feeling that these people are not getting paid for this work that's being blasted everywhere. Because it's one thing if I
Speaking
say I'm going to pay you $50 for this little clip in your video. It's another thing if I pay you $50 for this little clip of your video, but also everyone everywhere is going to see it for the next 2 months. Sorry, that's the end of my rant. I'm done.
Circling back, that yarn, because I said I didn't know what that yarn is, but then I remembered that I did have a label at some point, so I put it on Ravelry. It's called Icelandic Jewels by Yarn Bee, but it's discontinued. I knew it was a
No.
discontinued yarn. I knew it was a discontinued yarn. So,
Furious. It's such a
but
cute
I
yarn.
had,
Ooh,
yeah, I
also,
had
isn't
some of
Yarn Bee
the,
the homophobic Hobby Lobby brand?
yeah, it's the Hobby Lobby brand.
But
But so I all the skeins that I have are like partial. I can tell somebody used some of them. The two full
mm-hmm,
skeins I had that had labels on them, I made um Terry slippers out of. But
mm-hmm.
yeah, so I've got some of the green, I've got some of this pinkish color, I've got this red orange color that I'm gonna throw
Ooh, I
in.
like that one.
I've got I've got some yellow that I'm gonna throw in.
Ooh, this blanket is gonna be so scrappy. I love
And
it.
it's I'll probably Yeah, because that's what I wanted. Because I'm like, I see other people make a scrappy blanket, and I'm like, I really like this. But then when I try to throw balls of yarn together, I'm like, these colors don't go together. This is going to be awful. And then I said, you know what? I'm just going to do it anyway. This time around, I
I
said I'm going to just do it anyway.
I like that yours is going to be a bright scrappy blanket, because usually when I see the scrappy like blanket
Uh
skirt,
huh.
yada yada, it's always like muted tones, earth tones, like
Earth
darker stuff.
tones.
Yeah, I like that yours is brighter, and also yours is going to be like a genuine scrap blanket, because I feel like a lot of the girlies out here are making like
Hmm.
curated scrap blankets where they are buying the different skeins
Uh
and then
huh.
putting them together, which that is not
Together to
scraps.
make it a scrap. No, these are literally scraps that I am trying to get out of my house. Like I was telling your father, there is this whole house is just filled with stuff that, and it's not just my yarn. It's like
Mm,
in my food closet, I've got like cake mixes that have been sitting there that they're not expired, but I want to use them up before
just
they
nobody's using
expire.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just telling your brother yesterday, we've got like 5 boxes of Jiffy cornbread
Cornbread?
mix. And it's like we need to go ahead and use up this cornbread mix. It's just sitting in there taking up room, and we tend to like when we grocery shop, we in the refrigerator and the food closet, we just push everything back and put the new food in front. And then it's like we need to start using up some of this stuff. The
If
same thing
y'all
in the
make a big
freezer.
batch
We
of
just push stuff.
cornbread, if y'all make a big batch of cornbread, let me know. I will come visit. I love cornbread.
But he just asked me, he was making a casserole and he just texted me while I was in bed and said, "Do you like sweet cornbread?" I said, "I do like sweet cornbread." So I'm hoping when I go downstairs, there's some cornbread
Ooh.
and I will eat it. But we've got like meat in the freezer and stuff that's like, it's still good, but if it stays there much longer,
It
it's going to
won't
have
be.
freezer burn or whatever.
Yeah.
So we need to use this stuff up. Or like all these vegetable, we have a ton of cauliflower stuff from when your father,
I was doing
he
the
goes through
keto.
these periods
Yeah.
of trying to be healthy or changing his diet or whatever. And so he bought a bunch of like fake mashed potatoes that are made out of
Mhm.
cauliflower and cauliflower rice with herbs in it and stuff like that. And nobody's eating it. And it's
Ooh.
sitting there. We don't touch it because we figure, oh, it's for his diet or
It's his
whatever.
thing.
But
Yeah.
then he's moved on to something else. And he's not touching it. And then when he decides to do a new diet, he's going to buy new stuff. So it's time to start eating up some of that stuff. It's time to start
Hmm.
using up some of this yarn that is sitting in here. It's just time to just start either use it or throw it out. I'm feeling overwhelmed.
I feel that I am about
Overwhelmed
to
is a
probably, if I don't start a new job like the day after Party City closes, I'm probably going to spend that time going through my craft room and reorganizing everything, taking
mhm,
stock of what I have and everything. I may like, because I've got supplies for other crafts that I'm just not using anymore. Like I've got a pasta
uh-huh,
machine and some clay stuff, and I've still got like jewelry making stuff that like I really only use a couple of the
mhm,
findings and then don't really use anything else. So I might put that stuff together and then
uh-huh.
just post on the Discord like, who wants this? I'll mail it to you. I've got so many
Yeah,
craft things.
that will be a perfect, if you can get out of your head, that'll be a perfect opportunity to get rid of some of that stuff. What has happened to me in the past, because I've gone through bouts of unemployment, what has happened to me in the past is that when I'm working, like right now I have a job. When I'm working,
Hmm.
I'm like, if I didn't have a job, I would take this time during the day while have the most energy. I'm never energetic, but there's a certain period during the day when I have the most energy that I could get some
Yeah.
stuff done. And that time of day is taken up doing my paid work. And I always say
Hmm.
to myself, if I wasn't working, then I would take that time to go through closets and stuff like that. But what ends up happening is that when I'm not working, I am so worried about not having a job, number one.
Hmm.
And number two, you have those requirements to keep getting your unemployment, that you have to apply for all these different jobs, that I
Yeah.
spend my time applying for jobs or worrying about not having a job. So that takes up the energy that I would have used to clean
To
out a
do anything
closet,
else.
clean
Yeah.
out a drawer, clean out a thing. If I could get to a point, at this point, I'm feeling like it's going to take retirement for me to be like, okay, I'm retired. I'm getting my social security check, so I don't have to look for a job. So now I can start doing this. But then by then, I'll be close to 70. I'll be too tired to clear all this crap out of my house. I want to
Hmm.
do it now while I'm not quite 60 yet. I mean, I'm not young, but I'm not, in
I
my
feel you.
brain, 70 means you need to sit your ass down.
I don't know. There's some spry 70-year-olds out there, aren't there?
I know, like your Aunt Connie. Your Aunt Connie's got energy to do that kind of stuff.
Yes.
I don't.
She
I
is
don't have
so
the energy
spry.
now, so I can't imagine having the energy when I'm 70. So I want to try to do this stuff now so that when I am 70, it's in, the house is not a trap
I'll I'll call you when I'm
that
cleaning my craft room and we'll do just a cleaning video chat. We'll just sit on the phone together while we're cleaning stuff.
co-working chat,
Yes.
a co-working chat.
So many of my Discords have co-working channels and I'm like, I would just be distracted trying to talk to people. Like I would not be
Yeah.
working, I think. Because the other Discords that are co-working things are like they're writing for like the audio dramas that I'm a voice actor in. They're writing and I'm like, I wouldn't be able to write and also co-work. I would be talking to people. I would not be working.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But cleaning a
And that's
house,
us.
I
We're
can
supposed to be
talk
the
and mess
we're
around.
supposed to be the background sound right now for somebody who's cleaning. So hopefully
Hey
somebody is
you,
getting their closet cleaned
I
out
know you just
or
sat that back down on that counter. No, pick it up right now. Don't leave it on that counter because you think you're gonna pick it up later and you're not. You need to pick it up and go put it away right now.
okay, it is 12:43,
12:40.
ma'am. So we
So
need to
I
go
said
ahead and
into
wind this
one.
down.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the things that we've been watching. I have a couple that I want to breeze through real quick. Let me
Well, you
get my
breeze
thing.
through those right quick.
Okay. One, I watched Deadpool and Wolverine, the movie. It was hilarious. It definitely, Mother, you probably would not enjoy it whatsoever. I thought it was hilarious. It had Channing Tatum as Gambit. Talk about how he's down in Louisiana and throwing the cards. I can't even do that accent. I love it. I love Gambit so much. I'm so glad that he was in this movie. I don't know why Gambit is one of my favorites, but he absolutely is. I don't even know that much about his backstory. I'm just like, he has cards and he's from Louisiana? Yes. But that movie was absolutely hilarious. We sat down and just like watched it on the projector. So good, loved it. Or I think we just watched it on the TV. So good, loved it. I got through the 2 seasons of Long Island Medium that they have on Hulu. They were all right. It's definitely something to put on in the background. I just have to remember that occasionally I will cry because there are people crying because the show is about death.
Yeah.
But it was good. I also just love hearing like her like hearing about her life. It's just a reality show. Just hearing about her life and what's going on in her life. But so I was watching the last 2 seasons of Long Island Medium. I didn't realize until I checked after the fact because you're like, are you watching like which season? I didn't realize until I checked after the fact. Those last 2 seasons were from like 2014. Like so long ago. Because her newer show is Teresa Caputo Raising Spirits.
It's her by herself. Cause she her and her husband got divorced, didn't they?
Yes, they got divorced. They're still like friends. They still talk, but they got divorced and he moved to California. So now it's Teresa Caputo Raising Spirits, and it takes place. The first season of that takes place several like years after the end of the other show. So her daughter Vic is married and has a child. Her son is engaged, and I am at the part in the first season where they are getting ready to go to his wedding in Italy. But I just have to talk about this one thing because it has been driving me absolutely insane. So Vic and her husband, her husband Michael, and their daughter Michelina. I'm just gonna let that sink in. Michelina. Um, Vic, her husband Michael, and their daughter Michelina live in Teresa's house, which, like, go off. They
Uh-huh.
have a house big enough. Lovely, awesome. Except Vic, Michael, and Michelina have a house. They have a house. Running water, heat, air conditioner, electricity. They have a whole house, yard, garage. They have a house. And Teresa has said multiple times, when are you going to your house? And Vic is like, I'm packing. There are just bags of clothes everywhere. And she's sitting on the bed playing with the baby.
Wait a minute,
I'm
now,
packing.
who is Vic again? Tell me again. Vic, Michael,
Vic
and
is
Michelina,
Teresa's
who are
daughter. Vic is Teresa's daughter. So Vic is
Okay.
Teresa's daughter. Michael is her husband, and Michelina is the baby. She's the
Okay.
daughter who used to be a gymnast and is no longer a gymnast.
Okay.
So, because I believe Teresa only has 2 kids. She's got the son, who I can never remember his name. He's never on the show, and Vic, who is there like all the time. So Vic, Michael, and Michelina live in a house. Teresa says, when are you leaving? She is like, I am packing, actively not packing. And Teresa's like, you're not packing anything. You said months ago that you were going to be out of here. I love you. You have a house. And she's like, the house is unlivable. And she's like, no, I went and saw the house. The house is actually livable. And she's like, no, but there are no chairs. There's no couch. And she's like, that's not unlivable. You have a house and you can get furniture. Why are you not in your house? And they keep doing these cutaways. What do you think is the reason that Vic does not want to move to her own house? Just take a wild guess.
Probably because her mother does all the cooking.
Not even that. She every time that they cut to her aside, every single time that they cut to her confessional cam or whatever, she says, I don't want to move out. Why would I move out when, and like, I don't want to move out because if I move to my house, I don't have a babysitter. My mother is a great babysitter. I have a free babysitter here. And I'm like, girly pop, your husband owns a restaurant. You have enough money for a whole house. Your mother has a TV show. Pay for a babysitter. Like, what do you even mean? They just bought tickets to go to Italy to her brother's wedding. And you're literally the only thing that she ever states is the reason that she doesn't want to move out of her mother's house is because she won't have a babysitter. Like, that is an entire job market that exists. You can pay people to do that. And also, her mother is on the road half the time because in Teresa Caputo Raising Spirits, she is going to Texas. She is going to California. She is going to all of these other states. So half the time she's not even there. So who's watching the child then? Victoria? Who is watching the child then? It is so outrageous because I would understand it. And I can't tell if it's the producers are saying, no, you need to say this is why you don't want to be here. Or if she like has another reason and doesn't want to say it or whatever. But it is so silly of a reason. It is so silly of a reason because I know that they could afford a babysitter. They could absolutely afford a babysitter.
Exactly.
So like I would understand it so much more if she was like, I just don't want to, I haven't been away from my mom for so long and I really don't want to be away from my mom. Or like my mom lives right next to my grandparents. So I want to be here with my mom and my grandparents. And I want Michelina to be here with the great grandparents, like while they're here. Like any of these reasons would have been, okay, I understand you want to like be with your family or whatever, but I don't have a babysitter. That is not only silly, that is like, disrespectful.
There are some people though who don't want outside people to watch their children. Because your grandmother was not crazy about the idea of us putting you in a daycare, which we did briefly.
But like, is she even doing anything to help out around the house or anything? Because like, if I had a child and I was like, here, mother, you're watching my child now, you would expect me to do laundry, pay you, clean the house, do something to help. Like, she is expecting her mother to free of charge watch her daughter whenever. Like, it's rude. It's inconsiderate. And her mother is actively asking her to leave the house. Furious. So I'm still
Yep.
watching the show. She has not moved out yet. I'm on episode 5, I think. She has not moved out yet. I
Oh, she
don't.
probably won't.
We'll see. I will catch you up
She probably
next
won't.
week. It is a
So
TV
that's the
show. I
main
just
thing that you've been watching.
yes, and it's driving me insane. It is driving me insane. But that's the main thing I've been watching. I've not really watched anything else. I think I watched no, I'm just watching like YouTube clips and all kinds of, the boring stuff that's not really
Yeah,
talkable on
that's
a
me. I watch a lot of YouTube for some reason. But your sister, she texted me first thing Sunday morning because she didn't realize I wasn't home. She texted me first thing morning going, normally we watch TV together on Mondays. She
yeah,
texted me on Sunday morning and is like, I want to watch maths with you today.
maths
Like it was urgent. And
to watch
then
what?
and then she texted me back and then thought, "Oh, I forgot. You're not home today." And I said, "I'll be home later tonight."
What is this
And
thing that she wants to
as
watch?
soon as she got as soon as she got home, as soon as I got home, she was like, "Come on, let's go watch maths."
What is maths?
And so you know what maths is.
I
Maths.
don't.
Maths.
You can say it all you want. The
The
word does not
Australians
change
like to
meaning.
the Australians like to abbreviate things. It is Married at First Sight Australia.
Oh
Your
God.
father and I used to watch. Have you ever watched Married at First Sight?
I have not. I forgot that show existed. Also, Ronald
Your
says he
father
lives on
and I
YouTube.
used to watch. Yep, me too. My your father and I used to watch Married at First Sight the first season. We're the kind of people where we will watch the first season of a reality show,
Hmm.
when it's like new and it's a thing nobody's ever watched before, and then we decide, okay, we don't need to see any more of this. We're done, and then we don't watch
Hmm.
it again. And then other people continue to watch. So we watched the first season of the American version of Married at First Sight, and I think we watched the whole first season. I think we may have watched a little bit of the second season, but then we were like, you know what, we're done. Meanwhile, it's been being syndicated all over the world in different countries,
Hmm.
but we watch Gogglebox Australia, and you know what Gogglebox is? It's where the people sit
Yes.
and they react. It's like a react channel,
Reaction
except
show.
on
Yeah.
regular television. Yeah, where they react to what they see on TV that week. And so that's when we realized there was a Married at First Sight Australia. And the way they do it in Australia is totally different from the way they do it in America.
Ooh. Okay.
Because they have these couples. The big difference is that they have these couples come back together. First they have all the girls meet each other and all the guys meet each other, kind of like a little mini bachelor party
Hmm.
before the wedding. Do you know the premise of Married at First Sight?
Is this the one where they're like behind the walls and they talk to each other and then they like
No,
are like, "You're the one for me."
no, that's Love Is Blind. That's Love Is
Oh crap!
Blind,
No.
which might as well be the same thing. But no, Married at First Sight is they don't even get to talk to each other. Love Is Blind, they talk to each other behind a screen or whatever, and then they meet for the first time and then get married.
Okay.
Married at First Sight is these three supposed experts, like psychologists,
Oh, like pair them up.
take all the pair them up, and then they meet at the altar and get married immediately. They learn the person's name and everything at the altar. They don't know what they look like, nothing till they come down the aisle.
How do you explain that to your family? How do you explain that to everyone in your life? How do you say, "I'm so sorry, I have to take this Friday off. I'm getting married. We haven't heard anything about your fiance." "No, it's okay. I'm not actually engaged. I'm meeting him Friday. I'll be back at work on Monday. Please sign these papers." How do you explain that to people?
Yeah, on the first one that they did in the US, I don't know how they explained it on because they don't show any of the background stuff on that first season in the US one. On
Hmm.
on Maths Australia, they are from I used to have a friend, an online friend who lives in Perth, and she told me once that they don't have a big television industry in Australia, that most of what they watch, it's a little bit different now because this was like 15, 20 years ago, but it's a little bit different now. But um pretty much if it's a show made in Australia with Australians on it, everybody
Hmm.
seems to watch it because 90% of what they watch comes from the US or the UK. So when they have something that was actually made in Australia,
It's like
everybody
you watching
watches it because
reality shows anytime
everybody
somebody's from
knows
North
it.
Carolina.
Exactly. Everybody watches it, everybody knows it. So when they we were watching the beginning of Maths, this is like the 10th season or something.
Hmm.
They just go and say, "Hey, I'm getting married tomorrow. I'm getting married on Maths." And the family is like, "Ah!" Most of them aren't really mad. Also because I was saying to your sister, my speculation is because unlike American reality shows where they break up the minute the cameras go off, there's another reality show in Australia called Farmer Wants a Wife that has a very high success rate
Ooh. They
where
did
people
Farmer
have
Wants a
gotten
Wife in
married and
America,
had. Yeah,
but
they
it was
did do
bad in
Farmer Wants
America.
a Wife in America. Yeah, yeah. But the one in Australia, they have a very high success rate of people getting married and staying together and having kids and all that kind of
Ooh.
stuff. So I think in Australia, since they have that history of that, they're probably
Hmm.
not as shocked that their daughter is gonna go get married on Maths.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so it's been a while since I've watched a show like that because we don't watch dating shows that often. Usually, your father and I watch competition shows.
Yeah.
Like we're watching Traders right now. Traders
Wasn't Bob the
US.
drag queen on one of the rate on is Bob the drag queen on the season you're watching right now?
Yes, yes,
Okay. Because I've been seeing stuff about Bob and traders, and I'm like, what? What do you mean? I feel like I need
yeah.
to go back and watch the season because I love Bob so much. He is so funny.
So yeah, so that's pretty much what we're watching. I'm watching Traders with your father. We watch more of High Potential, which I told you. Remember the French version of that I suggested to you? HPI.
Re-explain it.
It's
Re-explain it.
the it's the lady who's the cleaner, but she's a
Oh
cleaner
yes,
at a
yes, yes, yes,
police
yes,
station, and
yes.
she has that super high IQ, and so she helps them solve a case, and then they're like, "Oh, well, you need to come be a consultant for us." It's kind of lighthearted comedy, even though it's a murder
Hmm.
show. It's kind of like a lighthearted comedy kind of almost
Hmm.
show. So I haven't watched that from the beginning, but I've watched like 2 or 3 episodes of it with your father because it's the kind of show that even though you know how I am, I tend to want to watch stuff from the beginning no matter what. It's hard for me to just jump in the middle of something.
Yeah.
But this is the kind of show that you can kind of jump in the middle because you already know what it
Hmm.
is, you know? So there's not a lot. I mean, the few questions that I had, I asked your father, he was able to answer them with 3 words. So it's not that deep, you know? So
Hmm.
that's yeah. So we've been watching that and Traders. We're probably going to start watching Special Forces because that one has come back. We watched Matlock, the new Matlock. Have you
The
watched
new
that?
Matlock. I have not, but I saw we were at when we were at my friend's house for my birthday. We watched like one of the recent episodes of Drag Race because my friend was watching it. And, like we were watching it like as we were winding down, getting ready to go to bed because I stayed the night over there. And
Mhm.
while we were watching it, a commercial for Matlock came on. I'm like, Matlock, my grandmother's show, and they're like, what? And I'm like, yes, that show is so old. This must be a remake. The show is so
Yes,
old.
it's not. I mean, I don't want to give it away just in case you decide to watch it because it is really good. I would recommend it. Um, but it's not just a remake of the old show. They explain within the first 10 minutes of the first episode that this is not, even though you're using the Matlock name, is not a remake of the old show.
But what is Matlock? Was Matlock a detective show? Was Matlock a cop show? What was Matlock? I just remember the
Matlock
name of
was
it.
a
I don't
lawyer
remember anything
show.
about it. A lawyer show.
Yeah,
Okay.
Matlock. Andy Griffith played a lawyer, a country lawyer named Matlock, who
Okay.
usually one of those things where you're supposed to be defending somebody, but you figure out that the person you're defending isn't really the one who did it. So then you got to do some detective work to figure out who really did it. So it's kind of a detective story in that way. Kind of like in the same, I think of Matlock as being in the same vein as Perry Mason, because Perry Mason was like that, where like you're a lawyer defending a certain person, but you figure out that person didn't really do it. So you got to figure out who really did do it to, help
Maybe
your
I'll go watch
client.
Matlock.
So it's
What?
So it's one of
What
those
service is
kind of
Matlock
things.
on?
That's what the original. So Matlock is on Paramount, which you have access to many people who have Paramount. What?
Yeah, I lost it because I don't think. Oh, I don't even have the Paramount app on my phone anymore.
You have many people. Your brother has Paramount through his Walmart. I just found out that I have Paramount through our cable, because our cable just started adding streaming services to their plan. So I get Max, Paramount, VIX, and Disney.
Okay,
which
but
I already paid for Disney. So I'm trying to get rid of my Disney. But y'all keep watching my Disney.
But if you get rid of the Disney, I have so many curated things. My queue is curated. If you get rid of the Disney and I log into your new Disney. But yes, go ahead and get rid of the Disney so you're not double paying for Disney.
I plugged you in.
We'll figure out where all of these things are later. In the meantime, it is 1:00. I have started the rock music. Who knows if StreamYard is going to cut us off at any moment. Do you have any final thoughts?
Never mind StreamYard. My laptop is trying to tell me I'm not plugged in, and like everything I've touched is pushed in. So my laptop might shut us off.
Ooh. And to give money to support my mother getting a new laptop, you can go to patreon.com/
Shut up, man. I looked at trying to get us a gaming laptop, and what they call a budget gaming laptop is $1,200.
Yep.
The hell you say?
Yep. It's like half my rent.
The hell you say?
It is wild. If I do some good markets, I could, because on a really good.
I thought you were gonna say you were gonna sell some feet pics.
Bruh, there are too many people in the feet pic market. That's the problem, is everybody thinks they can sell feet pics and that it's so easy, and there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people out here buying these feet pics and hundreds of millions of thousands. There are so many people trying to sell feet pics. Like, if I'm getting a mainstream ad on Instagram to sell feet pics, that means no one's going to pay them for it. You have to be on top of the feet pic market, and I, for one, can't afford to go get pedicures. So no one wants to do my.
Ronald, I'm going to try the Bandle after we get off of here, because I am curious now. I introduced Uncle Barry to the Bandle.
Ooh,
and he
like it?
And downloaded the app.
Yeah.
And bought one of the song packs for $2.
Wild. Speaking of buying song packs, I hope you guys are ready to play some Green Day on Beat Saber. Because Ronald sent me my birthday present, and I thought you were just going to send me the money for the Green Day pack, which is the pack that I said I was going to get. Ronald sent me $20, so I have the Green Day pack, and I'm probably going to buy the Lady Gaga pack too. So, because the Green Day pack is only like
that was generous of you, Ronald. Thank you.
Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So we are going to be beating some sabers. No, that sounds inappropriate. We're going to be sabering some beats. We're gonna be sabering some.
Figure out how to make a Pikmin hat to go along with those leaves on top of your head.
A Pikmin hat? That would be very easy.
I would be very easy. Remember what Pikmin look like, what color
they've got, like a pointed head. Red, blue, and yellow are the original main colors. But they've got a pointed head, so I could do like a normal hat and then have like a point at the top and have their eyes right here and then just put a leaf up here on the little point.
That would be cute.
Right? But I like just the little guy on my headphones. I was just looking.
I like him on your headphones too.
I was just looking the other day to see if I have some pipe cleaners, because I think what I want to do is make some more of these, but crochet up a pipe cleaner and then put like a little flower up top. Because if I make a flower right now, it'll just kind of flop around. And you'll see it. But if I put a pipe cleaner up there and put like a little flower, wouldn't it be so cute?
Cute.
I just gotta get some pipe cleaners, which means more craft supplies.
Are you gonna do our outro?
Thank you, everyone, for being here and listening to us chat and hearing me go off about these YouTube ads that I will die on that hill. They need to pay for commercials. If you're gonna have commercials, pay for commercials. If you give us a like. If you want to support us, give us subscribe so you can find us later when we change our name in 2 weeks from now, so you know who we are and where we are. If you have anything to say, what kind of comment can people leave? Do you think that Vic should move out of Teresa's house? Do you think staying for the babysitter when you have an entire house? It's one thing to go over to her house so that she can watch your child. It's another thing to fully live in her house while you have a house that you own under your name standing empty.
That's ridiculous.
That's the thing. Like, if she moved all of her stuff but then was always hanging out at her mother's house, that'd be one thing. She will not move into... I'm done with this rant. Like, subscribe, show up next week for the 100th episode. Bring your coffee. Maybe we'll have cupcakes. We'll put on makeup and have wigs. It will be amazing.
Don't say that out loud. Now I got to put on makeup and have a wig.
I won't have on a wig. I'll have just my dyed hair because I'm going tomorrow to my friend's house to get my hair colored.
Okay.
But makeup we will do. It'll be an extra special Coffee Klatsch farewell extravaganza. I'm ending the stream. We're out of here. Bye.
Peace out, y'all.
End the stream.